Welcome once again to all you Warhammers and Warhammies, to the best episode of Big M's Power Hour to date. Uh, I am your host, Big M, along with my Ohioan cohort,
Mm,
Cole
mm.
C.
Uh, Well, thank you mostly for that intro, except for the curse that you are acknowledging of me. Yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah. Anyone that's watched the episode or the show for more than one episode will notice that everything is different.
yes.
I got a new computer, and I forgot that I have layouts and a process. It was all forgotten. So
Throw it out this week, this month, whatever, this time.
yeah. So it's been a month.
That it has been. That it has been.
I'll tell you, there are some months where it feels like we just recorded an episode, and there are other months
Did we not record for 6 months or
where it's
what?
like,
Because it's
yes,
all happened.
I remember recording episodes for YouTube.
Oh, jeez. That's true.
um, so so yeah. I think we should probably do a little bit of little personal chatter here because we had a whole bunch of stuff go on.
Yeah, that we did.
Um, I know, like I said, you are moved.
Yes, I am inside of the house.
You
I
know,
don't have everything correct. That is why it is blurry behind me because it is a mess. And the shelves have just turned into a dumping spot for things as they get put to where they belong. So,
um, well, yeah. So as far as that goes, everything on my side has been relatively mundane.
good, good.
Biggest thing working on Brewhammer Army.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I'm
have.
excited to actually get to
Well,
see it in person.
can I reach them? Can I reach them from here? Maybe.
Uh,
So I'm bringing Fire Slayers because I think they're going to be okay, but I had to do 3 Rune Sun on Magmadroth. So I took the same color palette and I did 3 in completely different ways, and on top of that, they also are representative of the mount traits and or artifacts they will have.
Very nice, very nice.
So, and again, there's going to be crumble base down here. You could tell because I didn't blend.
It's okay. It's okay.
But so you can see this guy. He has black scales and the more red carapace. So he's going to
Yeah.
be the Coalheart.
Okay. Okay.
There's one that has the lava lash tongue. So his tongue is red and orange. And then another one is going to have the axe of Grimnir. So well, here, real quick,
Okay.
we'll do. This is what a normal Rune Sun looks like, where
Got it.
he only has,
He looks like a fire slayer.
yeah,
Yes,
he has teeny
correct.
tiny axes. So the axe
So,
of Grimnir does an extra damage. So I took one of the Hearthguard Berserker axes,
there we go. Good, good.
and so that way I'll be able to tell you out front, and then it's up to you from there to remember or ask.
Fair enough. Yeah, always just ask. Always easier.
um, and then again, also on top of that, it'll be easier for me to remember as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because during the TTS games, that was the one thing I was struggling with, was like who had what.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, especially since all the models are definitely identical in there.
Yeah.
So,
Um, but yeah, like I said, as far as that goes, my list, honestly, the list that I have actually is very entertaining and enjoyable.
good.
There's 2 issues that I have. Go
Mm,
like there's 2 weaknesses to the army that I can see right now, and that is magic, which is eye gouging.
right, right.
Like, I don't understand how, dwarves, the historically most anti magic army in tabletop role playing games,
Hmm.
has zero dispelling.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
The best you can do is if you bring the Battlesmith, which is now only good in one specific build.
Right, and you just bring one of him for one dispel, right?
No, no, no. You don't get a dispel.
Oh,
You could take an artifact to give him the Null City icon, which then makes it
ah,
so if a unit wholly within 12 inches of him gets affected by a spell, they can roll a die, and on a 4-up, that spell doesn't affect them.
there we go. Now
Or
I'm
endless spell.
remembering. There we go.
And it's like, why does every priest not have 2 dispels or a dispel at +2 or like
No, I hear you.
if you had that, I think you'd have actually some grease in there, some gas in the tank for the army. The other thing is the missing ward saves is palpable.
Yeah, you notice it whenever you notice it, right?
I mean, so I have 2 units of Hearthguard in there, and so they're now just kind of defensive pieces more than anything else. And so,
Right.
like, those stay because they're not charging, so they're always going to be wholly within 9 of a hero, so they're going to have their 4-up ward.
Right.
That you can feel. But, like, the Magmadross don't.
Yeah, that definitely hurts quickly. Yeah,
They are a 5-up save, or 4-up
Yep.
save.
4-up, 4-up.
Yeah, they are 4-up. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
4-up. Check my notes. So they're a 4-up save. Now, thankfully, I'll be running Lofnir, so they're 18 wounds apiece.
Oh, there you go.
But, like, I think about your army.
I
and-
mean, yes, I can cut through them. The problem for my army then becomes whenever you're splashing mortal wounds on me,
Only on a 4-up.
it ends up what? That's 9 mortals. That
For the normal
Ends up-
person.
yeah. For the okay.
Well, again,
Look, so I guess whenever 9 becomes 3, yes, it becomes a
funny is-
lot less scary as it turns out.
what's funny is, so out of all the games that Chuck and I tested,
Mm-hmm.
on average, a Magmadroth will do 3 mortal wounds back throughout the 18 wound lifespan. I was like,
Not-
you got it on the button.
No boy. Jeez.
And then, like, and I'll tell you, like, the other thing that just doesn't feel right is the fire stream.
Oh,
So, because they all have, like, a breath attack.
right.
What do you think the breath attack does?
Oh, I can't remember now off the
Just take
top
a
of my
swing.
head. I want to say it's like D3 mortals or something like that.
Yeah, that was, I think, first edition or something.
Okay.
So now it is the attack's characteristic of the roaring fire stream is equal to the number of models in the target unit to a maximum of 10.
Okay.
And then it is the damage chart gives you to hit, so it starts at 2-up and then goes to 5-up
Okay.
and then a 3-up to wound, rend 1 damage.
Okay.
So I'm
10
not
shots.
complaining about it, but like it's
Yeah,
not
10 shots, 2s, and 3s to start off with. Yeah. What's the
um,
range of it?
9 inches.
All right. That's the only complaint I would have about it is touch short on range, but it's a breath weapon. So, okay. Okay.
And then if they don't attack with that, then you can say they're holding in a fire or inferno or whatever.
Right.
And then that's whenever their rend becomes rend 3.
Okay. Which is always very useful.
Right. But like I said though, I would rather just have like D3 mortal wounds.
Right. No, I don't disagree with you.
As D3 mortal wounds, and if they don't attack, then it goes up to 2D3.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I in every game it's been very underwhelming. I'll put
Right.
it that way, because it's like by the time you really need it, like it's not like, I don't know, it's not bad, but it's like for the amount you're paying for them, it'd be nice to get a little something else, because like their claws are 4s and 2s,
That 4s is what hurts. Yeah, no,
Right.
I agree.
and that's like half their attacks. So it's,
Right. Yep. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. That does stink. I mean, it's good for helping you clear the screen a little bit between the 3 of them. If you need to be able to actually get in and charge whatever it is that you wanted. It's, of course, was nice last edition. I haven't seen enough of the new edition, of course, to see if it's still good with all the hordes that were running around.
Right.
Obviously, capping off at 10 means you don't need hordes as much, but it helps.
I'll tell you, I don't understand what it is. Like I, I've seen all these like attack equal the number of models, and the
Yeah.
only time it caps at 10 is if it's an army that I want to play.
I hear ya.
I don't like. It doesn't seem like a very common.
Yeah, I really don't know. The only time I don't see it get capped that I can think of is if it's a spell most of the time.
Well, that's most of the sources it comes from.
That's true. That is true.
Um, but yeah, it
Yeah,
is
other
what
than that,
it
it's for each model within 3 inches or something like that.
is. Yeah. How
Yeah.
is how's your army? Is you're done, right?
Yeah, I'm just retaking stuff that I already have painted. I haven't really had time to update anything. Otherwise, I would probably be trying to shake up the list some. Um, I am going to be slightly light on magic this upcoming round, kind of like you. Only 2 casters in the list, so only 2 dispels as well. No bonuses to cast, so I'm really not hoping to get much out of it. Outside of that, we're just running a lot of thralls, really, a couple reavers, and we added in a few extra foot heroes to try and keep going. Of course, the soul render, so we can bring back the thralls and reavers. Tide caster to help out with all the casting, and Lotan because he's so good now with the +1 to wound out of him. You have to take him. So I've got a couple small heroes, so I can try and fight for one of those secondaries. I think that's kind of where the army is going to struggle this edition. Is a couple of those secondaries are very difficult for us to get,
Yeah.
but it's doable. And of course, right now we have some of our own book secondaries, so it won't be too bad there. Of course, I'm running a king as well, so have to.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've run across in every game that I've played with these guys so far is like right around turn 3 and 4, I'm like, there's literally nothing it's even viable for me to do. And
Right,
that's
that's the
looking at
difficult part.
my entire book. And again, we're going to be handling going over the GHB later, so we can get
Yep.
into that a little bit further there. But yeah, so I think even though it's not Warhammer related,
Yeah,
one thing that we definitely have to touch base on the OGL.
yeah, just because gaming news. Yeah, so that was pretty big. It looks like, well, for those of you who don't know, OGL has to do with the open source gaming license for Wizards of the Coast in order to allow creators to use the Dungeons and Dragons IP. Gives them a few things they're allowed to make reference to, things like that, and allows them to sell things and say, hey, this is 5e compatible, which is the current edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Wizards of the Coast, and probably more likely Hasbro, were making a decision that got leaked to suspend the OGL and essentially make it so that they were allowed to take a cut of what creators were making.
Yeah. Now, a little bit of a history on the OGL. So it came out, third edition. They basically wanted people to be able. Essentially, the OGL came about because they wanted to promote growth in the community. Because again, we're now talking about the mid '90s where it's still not necessarily the coolest thing in the world to be playing D&D.
Right.
I mean, it was. People are just idiots. That's
Exactly.
But what that really boils down to is that it was make it. Just make it. The only thing we ask is don't use our names, the names of our stuff like Big B's and all that other stuff. It was like, if you make your own stuff, that's fine. Just leave the name stuff out of it.
Right.
And it was fine. And what's funny is, fourth edition came around, and essentially the development crew hated what they wanted them to do for fourth edition.
Okay.
And then on top of that, Wizards also was trying to pull the rug out from underneath of them and say that the OGL was only for 3rd edition.
Ah, okay.
So that's where you had this giant exodus from Wizards of the Coast. That's actually why we have Paizo.
Ah, okay. That's the whole reason Pathfinder and all of that is there then.
If you pull up your 3rd edition player's handbook and your Pathfinder's player handbook, about half of the names are going to be identical.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Now, one thing I would like to note that was not brought up anywhere near enough in media, time and time again, I'm pretty sure there's never been a lawsuit supporting copyright claims on mechanics. There's been a couple, and I don't think there's ever been one successful.
I think, but it's a difficult thing to do.
Exactly. So it's like we're looking at it and be like, the OGL really, at the end of the day, in the most realistic sense, was just a sign of good faith.
Right. Okay.
And so like now you have them going like, oh well, we're going to put out new rules that get rid of the old rules that say that the old rules can't be amended or removed, where you have Mont Cook going out going, well, when I wrote that, I meant, no, you can't. So
right. Kind of meant what was in the page. So, yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, like I said, I mean, I'm pretty much over Wizards of the Coast at this point.
Okay.
They do not, and again, it's stuff I've known for forever and a half. They don't appreciate their customer base.
No, I agree. I don't think Hasbro now owning them has helped that in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, Hasbro's owned them for years at this point.
Yeah, I think it takes a little while for things to come down the pipeline, though, in a company that large.
But, well, like I said, I mean, I think it was kind of whenever they purchased D&D Beyond, and they were like, oh, hey, we could actually...
subscription service and make some money out of this, yeah.
We could probably get some blood out of this stone. And this...
yeah.
And the problem is like, right now I'm looking over at my bookshelf of games, and I can play a million different D&Ds without D&D being involved.
That's true.
I mean,
very true.
Anywhere from Old School Essentials, which is polished 2nd edition, to 13th Age, which is a redo of 4th edition, or go back to play Pathfinder 1st or 2nd edition, where I could play 3.5.5.
Right.
Or even if I want to get snazzy, I can go play the One Ring. Hey, there's Jeremy Crawford of Wizards of the Coast, before his time at Wizards of the Coast, wrote a system called Blue Rose, which is a role-playing game that focuses on relationships.
Okay.
Both like romantic, rivalry, like whatever that key thing is, and they add mechanics for it. Like you could literally... There's so many other games to play that...
Right.
Yeah. Go try something else. Go stick at them. Because like it was right before Wizard of the Coast said like, hey, you win, we're done. Of course, it was the we win, we're not going to redo them.
Right.
Paizo stated that within the 2 weeks that they were pulling this bullshit, they sold 8 months worth of core rule books.
Wow. Very good for them. Very good.
So yeah. So like I said, it's horseshit. Don't put up with it. There are companies that appreciate your business.
Right.
And speaking of that, we'll use that to transition over to our news, which you can't see, which has been up this whole time.
I'm scared of what it says now.
I was gonna say something mean, but there was an election stolen.
Oh.
The Sorcerer Kings won. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
No idea.
So real quick, just to give you some background, Parabellum is the ones that produce Conquest, which is another tabletop role-playing game that basically plays a lot like a modern Warhammer Fantasy. It's kind of sped up a little bit. Things kind of flow a little bit better. And one of the things that they do that I love is whenever they're ready to do a new army, they go, here's all of the concept art for the next like 3 or 4 armies that we want to do, but we want to produce what you want us to produce, so vote on what army you want.
Very cool.
So this was Sorcerer Kings, which is like a Persian Indian style. Unfortunately, I can't find pictures right now, but you can definitely look them up and find them all over the place. Then the other one was War Dogs, which was like a pirate thing that was going to have like little bits of different races all in there. Their big centerpiece model was going to be a giant pirate ship on the back of a giant turtle.
Okay.
And then the one that I voted for was Hell, where they were going to bring in demons.
Oh, okay.
So I was kind of excited for that, but everyone, and they were Hell was winning. Hell was winning for a very long time. The last time I looked, Hell was winning. Now again, it was only by like 0.5%.
Right. It was nothing, I'm sure.
But we got the Sorcerer Kings. I'm probably not going to start this army, but
that's fair.
That's fine by me.
Yeah.
I haven't even started the game yet, but like recently we just got City States. Here, why not? Oh, let's go for
right.
it.
Yeah, that's the Greek-esque, right?
Right. So we just got City States, and I was actually looking up their oh, come on. So as you can see, they're very Greek inspired. Their models are literally Spartans and Minotaurs right now.
There we go.
I was reading up on their lore because I didn't previously, even though it was out there. Right. Essentially, they're tied to another faction called the Old Dominion, which is the undead races.
Oh.
And essentially what happened was, to put it in Age of Sigmar terms, Sigmar was starting to go crazy. And the city-states, like, they're like philosophers and stuff. And so they were like kind of starting to pick up like,
right,
something doesn't seem right. Maybe we should kind of back off a little bit. And they kind of quantified deitism, for lack of a better term. Again, there's a little more. It's a little different than that.
It's a little bit more, but it's an interesting concept, yeah.
And so they basically like stopped worshiping him or her. I don't remember.
Right.
But they basically kind of backed off, and they're like, guys, we need to figure something else out. And they kind of like came up with almost like a pseudo deity for people to worship.
Okay.
And then once they got like a decent amount of like folks kind of out, Sigmar basically went crazy, absorbed Nagash, and then killed all the people in the cities of Sigmar to raise them back as zombies.
Because they couldn't say no then, I guess, right?
So
dang.
Yeah, so I think that's an awesome lore for an undead faction, and it's an awesome lore for survivors of that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But okay, you're not here for Conquest, so let's move on here.
Yeah, let's go to the actual. We got enough going on.
So first off, we got announced the Celebrate Store Anniversaries in 2023 with 2 dwarfs. We got a new call, which I kind of would have liked them to look a little more different from the regular call.
No, I hear you. It is just like the opposite, like the other kit you could get for the call, you know?
Right. I mean,
but
I'll get them.
There's another sculpt, so it's hard to say no to it.
Right. I'll get them. Actually, and here, we'll finish up here, and then we'll do the, we're getting another named Caradron Overlord hero, because this army doesn't have enough heroes yet, but
no,
I'm super glad to have it. Like, it's so cool looking. I love that you have the choice between him carrying the boat, or you have a helmet that's off, or the top of the helmet is off, and he has the helmet in hand. I'm absolutely getting this one. If I have to kill someone to get it, I will.
Nice, good, good. Now here's the big question:
Yes,
is he holding the boat or the helmet?
I'm gonna get 2.
Okay, okay, I understand how dedicated you are right now.
Yes. But yeah, so going back to the call here.
Mhm.
So, oh, and that also reminds me here. The other thing I wanted to talk about here from LVO. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah,
So LVO was this past weekend. We went
Yeah.
last year, and outside of having to wear a mask at all times,
right. It was awesome event. Had
yeah.
fun.
I was so disappointed whenever I saw Anthony, AOS coach, was going to be here this year instead of last year.
Of course, but that's okay.
Yeah, again, I get it. I mean, it was.
From what I saw on Twitter, the event seemed like a huge thing for the Age of Sigmar community. Like the tough crowd was out in force. There was probably like the whole group seemed to be there. Pretty much anyone and everyone was at this one. It looked like a great, fantastic time. I think I saw some videos of people cheering during the award ceremony, and I'm very certain that the Age of Sigmar crowd out cheered the 40K crowd, although they are smaller, the entire time.
So that's where I was going next.
Yeah.
So from what Chuck told me, the Age of Sigmar crowd was like just super friendly, super flamboyant, and the garbage ass 40K community showed up in force, and
they've
like
all left now. Anyway,
during the awards, there was like smattering of applause. Like it was dead silent, it was dead quiet, and so apparent to the point on the way out, the AOS players started chanting double turn. Double.
Oh, I did see that.
Which reminds me, if you want to show your support for Age of Sigmar, you can go to the link below to get a double turn me daddy shirt. You have both the iconic graphic tee, and then you also have just the font. Just the font.
I think Marcella Little Marathi, I saw she was wearing one day one of LVO this year, which was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Again, see, now if I would went to LVO, I'd have to give her a prize because I don't really know her.
Fair enough.
I know who she is, and I've said hi to her,
Right.
but that's it. But so yeah. So with that being said, going back to the call here, so I got my force entirely built,
Good.
except for the pioneers because you have to paint them first.
Okay.
And I was playing a couple test games with some of our friends, Mark actually, who ran or who hosted the Teyrathi Classic.
Yeah.
And the game was perfectly fine. Like the dice were average. We were both going back and forth. There was no real issues, no problems. And I realized I just don't like that game.
Jeez.
That is a truly
Rough.
terrible game.
That is rough. Oh man.
So I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave the Space Dwarves to be my 10th edition army, where
There you go.
they have to be toning down this shit.
Sure.
They have to. They can't get more complicated.
Do you not remember the end of 7th? Did you play during the end of 7th?
Yes, I played during the end of 7th.
Okay. Okay.
This is more complicated now.
Mm,
Yes. From the sheer amount of command abilities.
all right. I'll give you that.
That's
But
what, and again, this
I
might just
I
be-
remember 7th where I'd walk up and be like, all right, I've got 5 books. I'm playing Vanilla Space Marines. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing. It was basically like, are you bringing flyers? Yes. You know what? You win. Good luck. Have fun. I'll just find someone that's not. And then I was playing Grey Knights, and
Hmm.
I had no problems because
There you go.
they got the one book,
That's
and that
true.
was it. Then they got no other support.
Yeah.
Um, but no, like, so like I know one of the times we were talking, like whenever I was playing Custodes last year at Adepta Cant, uh,
Right.
you know, you were saying like, oh, you really just need to find like the two or three command abilities that your army uses,
Hmm.
which is, you know, it's a little bit more skewed for Custodes because they're more elite, so they have more abilities, so there's
Right.
more blah blah blah. But your point stayed true.
Hmm.
Out of
Focus
the
on a few.
I think the 50 that they have, they only
Right.
use like 15.
Right. And if you're
Um,
just starting, narrow it down to five. You'll be fine.
right. However, for Space Dwarves,
Yeah.
it is 100% different.
You need all of it.
You need like it's basically like each unit has at least one card that you need to know. Like it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! You just triggered my trap card moment, and if you don't do that, take the unit off the table.
Gotcha. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
That is very big.
which I think is why they're doing so well because it's the
Hmm.
people that are memorizing that stuff.
It's the gamers that are
Right.
doing
It's
well
the
with it.
people.
Yeah.
Right. Because like whenever you go online to like Reddit or anything, all you
Hmm.
see is like the people who are like, it's not that bad, guys, right? Yay! It's uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
kid.
Hit you with another. I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sorry, kid. You can like your army, but it's not good. That's so again. Hopefully, 10th edition. We'll hear about that at Adepticon, I'm sure. And I don't know, but they got to do something.
Right.
All right, Dawnbringer previews once again.
Yeah. More of them.
Boy, this is. How? What are you thinking about this aesthetic? Because I'm not impressed.
So I think we are getting more detail in these now than what we were. I think we're getting closer to the final for a lot
Wouldn't
of
be nice.
these.
Wouldn't be bad if they gave us a new picture or something. I mean,
Right. No, I wouldn't mind a new picture either. But just some of the modeling stuff, I remember it being a little bit more bland at the beginning. It still looks a little bland in some areas. I don't know if that's just because these are pre sculpts or what it is, but you're starting to notice a little bit more detail in different pieces. So I'm liking it. It is definitely just old Empire, though, with a slight
right.
twist, it feels
I'm
like, which is going to have mixed reviews, I can see.
yes. So first off, I'm gonna call it here.
Okay.
Throughout all these previews, we have not seen a singular elf or dwarf bit anywhere, and all you
Yeah,
hear
it's all
online
humans. Yeah.
is we're gonna probably get. Oh, do you think we're gonna new Ironbreaker kid, or do you think we're gonna new um,
Shoot, you're
that kid?
right.
No,
Nah,
you
it's
are
all humans.
only getting humans. There is 0% chance of you getting something other than humans. I'm
But
not saying
like,
they're out of the book.
right. But like in the art, they're there. So
Right.
like, I want to see them. I want you
Well,
to show me that one dwarf bit that makes us all go, okay. Or that one elf bit that makes us go, ooh, it's there.
so
Maybe it's only one or two models a kit, but
So what's funny is, I think it was before you started with the Power Hour. I did an episode on the Cities of Sigmar problem,
okay. And how
and
they should all be mixed races inside each
well,
unit.
so that
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily. I mean, I came up with a couple solutions, which none of
Right.
which it looks like they're going to go with. But
Hmm.
the problem I said was like, you painted yourself into a corner.
Right.
You took 200 out of date kits and you're like, we're going to keep it relevant, guys. And now you have an obligation to keep.
Right. I think the big thing for them is the Cities of Sigmar book became the okay, we have all these kits. We're not doing any refreshes, so nobody think about that.
Right.
They're not all going to get their own book.
Right.
We're going to slap them all together, and semi-stitch them together, but you'll see that they're their own individual books if you open up and read this thing.
Right.
That's what happened.
Which is not Cities of Sigmar.
No.
It's I definitely think there's going to be a lot of upset people whenever this comes out, and there's not a single alternate race anywhere. And I think it's a mistake. I think this should have been this shouldn't be Cities 3.0. This should be like Legions of Nagash to Soulblight. It should be Cities is going to bed.
Right.
And here is the Dawnbringer Crusade, and we are just going to do it. So,
Right.
I don't know how you'd want to do it, but like, here's your kit, and then here's maybe some upgrade sprues to add a couple dwarfs or add a couple elves into your already existing units. The other idea, I can't remember if I came up with it in the show or not, but I forget who I was talking to when I came up. Probably you, but
Probably.
No, I think it was Chuck actually. I can't remember, but
Okay.
but he couldn't tell me anything. He just smiled and nodded.
Right.
So.
He just smiled and nodded at you, and so that was talking to a wall. That's all.
Right. But what I said was, you should pick your sergeant for a unit, and almost like picking your chaos marks.
Okay. And the sergeant would give you different abilities or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, if you pick a Dwarden champion, if you don't run or charge, re-roll failed saves.
Okay.
Or if you have an elf, I don't know, re-roll fail hits or something, +1 to wound.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That way, like I said, there's a million different ways to do it, and I don't think they chose any of them.
Probably not.
And like I said, every time they release something, I feel bad because it was a book that I was excited for. I know it's a book a lot of people are excited for, but every time they show something, I'm less
You're
excited.
less excited. Yeah.
Because, like, not only are they not doing anything... Clever's not the right word, but, like, an intelligent... I don't want to say they're not doing anything intelligent with it because that sounds insulting and I don't mean it to be, but, like, that... Like, they're not being...
They're not going new and fresh like so many of the other new armies that we've gotten over the years have been.
Yeah, I think the play style is going to be very straightforward, and I also think that even the aesthetics, whereas I was hoping to see like gritty, tough survivors who are like, I kind of wanted to see that, like,
you were looking for the Cadians, but in Sigmar.
Yeah, somewhere between like Cadians and like the Watchers of the Wall.
Okay.
Like something like that kind. Like I said, just that, like, we've been through so much, and like here it looks like we're just like someone went to the fonts and went, "Hi, Gothic." That doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like I said, I mean, if literally on the other side of your wall is chaos wanting to like eat you alive, the last thing you're going to do is sit there and like make ornate a gargoyle. Like,
no, I hear you. That's not high up on the priority list at the moment.
Right. And also, like, I kind of was expecting to see like some Stormcast influence.
No, I agreed with you entirely. However, I do wonder, because we've had so many stories throughout the lore of how the Stormcasts have kind of become... Yeah. So, it might just be a bit of defiance of like, okay, we're more doing this without them because they're kind of being assholes now.
Yeah. Which, my God, GW, it's okay to have some heroes. Like...
Yes.
People would love the idea, like the ability to go, "Ha! I'm going to kill the Stormcast because they're the good guys." Like,
oh, the good guys are here finally. Okay, I know which one's which.
All right, and then we got just a quick thing: recreating the ruined city of Osgiliath from awesome new terrain kits.
Yeah.
So we got this combination kit, which looks great. Again,
Yeah.
the GW or the Middle Earth stuff always looks great.
Hmm.
I'm always excited to see it. It's always a little overpriced, but it is what it is.
Yeah. No, I agree. But they use great source material and make pretty damn good looking kits. I love the tower in this one.
Yeah,
Looks great.
I love that they do have both Ruin Tower and regular tower, so you can do whichever one you want.
Right.
I think that's going to be awesome, and hopefully we'll get a little more Middle Earth in this year.
Yeah.
Let's see, moving along. Chaos Warriors and Exalted Heroes of Chaos dressed to impress their new kits. Um, we didn't really go over the um,
The Chaos release.
yeah,
Not much. No, I can't say we did.
and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't really look it up that much, so
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But
it's
good looking new kits, honestly.
yeah.
The book, I'm sure, is going to be great. If it's just more of the same, but
Ooh.
making our warriors and everything better, then awesome.
I love this like off white and mint.
Oh,
It's a pretty good color scheme. It's pretty
yeah.
good, especially like that's one thing I really like about the whenever someone kind of does the Warriors of Chaos a little off brand, like it still
Mhm.
looks on brand.
Oh, yeah. No, you're like, no, that's still definitely a warrior chaos, but he just used whatever he had at hand to make that armor.
Yeah, I think we did talk about the book a little bit because I remember saying like I heard that Archeon is
Oh,
he's
yes.
kind of lost some gas to his tank, which I think is okay, and we had that little discussion about centerpiece models.
Right.
So again, I still haven't looked up the book. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's too big of a. I literally have to have the kit or have to have the book to look it up to really get an opinion
Right.
on that one. Old world development.
Yeah.
Here's some art. You're not allowed to splooge yet.
Right.
Keep that blue ball. Like,
I mean, it's all like it's updated Empire art, which I mean, cool.
well, we're getting more art for this than we are for New Dawnbringer Crusade.
You're not wrong, but I think we're I don't know. I almost want to say we're closer to Dawnbringer Crusade being out than this, but I'll bet you behind the scenes the Empire esque is nearly done, but the rest of the factions aren't ready. So this is why they're showing us this right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can almost guarantee you that this was supposed to be the year this was supposed to come out. This is the 40th year anniversary of Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah, this would have been the year to do it.
Uh,
Yep.
so thanks, Stevie COVID.
Yeah.
But again, and by the way, in Darktide, the little flagellant we see here, that's kind of how my zealot looks right there. And then crazy
Fair
look
enough.
in his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, just just tell us. Just tell us.
Yep.
You have to be beyond concept art at this point.
Or at
Like,
least just be like, hey guys, here's the roadmap currently. This is subject to
Right.
change.
Right.
That's it.
all right, Eternus. All right, we looked at this
Yeah.
guy before.
I think we did at least once. Yes.
Well, they showed it
But
before, and
still,
now they're showing a little bit more.
right. Whether he got leaked or they actually meant to show him, I can't remember. But really cool. Gonna be a pain in the butt to paint correctly and make it
like-
look good, I think.
I'm so glad I don't have to paint this guy
Yeah.
because I don't have the patience for it anymore. That's one
Now,
problem is Contrast
excited.
has completely gotten rid of my ability to do.
Oh
detail
no.
work.
Just ruined you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm excited to see people who are good at paint this, but it ain't me.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Agreed. Age of Sigmar. Well, we got the new Battle Scroll. And they
yes.
got the Meta Watch, which I don't remember what the Meta Watch said, but
it said that the game's in a pretty good spot, quite honestly, is what it broke down to, which I think it was in a great spot. It was diverse enough, and if you knew what you were doing, just about any army could compete. There were a few that obviously couldn't, but
Yeah.
they have battle tomes coming up, so it's hard to argue with it.
well, we'll see. There's plenty of time to disprove that. But
Yeah. We'll see how this new season shakes out as well.
So we got the Galician Champion Battle Scroll, where we got Daughters of Cain got a little bit of an update. Nothing to do with bow snakes shooting in the hero phase, so let's move on. And then it was points. Were there any points that stood out to you?
Nothing nuts. Of course, Chuck will lament Marathi now being above the 700 point mark.
Yeah, I have to agree. I do think that is too high.
It's difficult, and I don't know if it's just because obviously we play Chuck too often, and so we end up seeing Marathi so often that it's like, oh yeah, no, you just do this, and
right.
You either don't have to fight her or you can kill her eventually. So
again, this kind of goes back to the conversation I had last week, where it's like the centerpiece models are so difficult because, like, is Marathi by herself a problem? Not really.
No.
She's annoying that she only do 3 wounds per round. Again, I still think it should be 3 normal wounds, and she could take as many mortals as possible, but that's just me. Or do something where, like, the Shadow Queen, I forget which one's the big. Oh yeah, the Shadow Queen's the behemoth. Like, the Shadow Queen can only take mortals, and little Marathi can take regular damage like nobody's business. Like,
and
in that way, if you can't keep little Marathi protected, then you deserve what you get.
Yeah.
But, like, putting her at a high point cost basically is their way of limiting the. I forget which one of the shooty ones. Is it the Bloodstalkers or the shooty ones?
Yes. Yeah.
The bow snakes. So because that's their way of limiting the bow snakes, and so then
we're at least limiting the double shoot capacity of the army,
which is frustrating because, like, if you don't want to take bow snakes and you don't want to go that route, well, you're getting punished. But, like, if you don't take Marathi, then the bow snakes aren't that bad because they only shoot once per turn.
Right. I mean, they're still good. Don't get me wrong. But
but they're not a problem.
They're not right.
Like, I would say right now, Marathi with bow snakes is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing around with points enough that I think we're close to getting there. But this may have just ended it once and for all, just upping Marathi a couple points from you having to worry about snakes being in a Marathi list.
Well, our buddy, friend of the show, James O'Brien, did not do so hot with bow snakes at LVO, and we know he's a hell of a player.
That's true. I believe he was playing pre this update at LVO. I don't know.
No, I think LVO was this.
Did they use this update?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's been out a while, so I mean, it's...
Right. No, you're right.
So like I said, I mean, honestly, I think the best thing would have been to do is go back to this section up here and put units can only benefit from Marathi's blah, blah, blah once.
Right. Or make it only work in melee, honestly.
And again, as far as that goes, I said, as someone that played the long strikes,
right,
shooting once in the hero phase in the entire game did not change the outcome of the game at that point.
Right.
And the same thing, like, I've been shot once with bow snakes and was able to recover. Then I was shot a second time with bow snakes in the hero phase, and then I was not able to recover so well.
That is, yeah.
So, like I said, that to me is the death knell, is that it's just constant hammering.
Right.
But yeah, okay. So we got our U.S. Open stuff. We're doing Tacoma, Washington, Kansas City, Missouri, and I think Tampa Bay is the other one, and then the finals are Atlanta, Georgia.
So staying away from the Northeast, of course. Still, please, guys,
there is
just
the Northeast.
Just one.
Just one. You don't even have to come to, like, the Northeast. Go to Tennessee. You're not even Tennessee. Let's go Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Come on, like there has to be
Put it in New
something.
York City. I'll make that drive. It's fine.
There's well, like I said, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that like they want to kind of avoid the Northeast because it's very expensive to run events up there, which I do get.
Right.
But like I said, Ohio has an international airport.
It's true. And I can't imagine Columbus, Cincy, Cleveland. You can't find one
Right.
in there that's got a cheap area.
And like I said, Pittsburgh has an amazing convention center that would be able
That
to
is
handle
true.
as many people.
That would
as
be
you
a beautiful one to have it in, I think. Yeah.
want. Boy, that would be a culture shock for so many people.
Yeah, it would be.
Again, like I said, I was kind of hoping for something closer to us. I don't necessarily want to travel the world to go to a U.S. Open, especially if
Right.
I'm probably going to go. Well, who knows? I wonder what kind of competitions at like just a regular one of these.
I think some pretty good players end up going there. I know Sousa's going there. A lot of the tough crowd goes to one. I mean, now whether or not you can just get lucky or something and fade the one where all the guys want to go, but
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just like.
yeah, no, I'm with you. It's difficult because I want to go to one of these at some point,
Yeah.
but they're not exactly set up quite
Right.
right for me to
Right.
go to. Like,
And that's one of the things is I would what I need to do is I need to come up with a map. I need to grab one of these maps and just put dots where they've had things, and then
yeah,
just
we
do,
should
like,
overlay it and just
right.
show the barrenness up in the Northeast.
Because
But yeah,
because last year we had some down. I forget if it was Arizona or New Mexico.
yeah,
Was there one? I think there was one in California.
yeah. I think they did a little bit better last
There
year. They
was
had more
Texas.
events last year. Almost want to say.
Right. So it's like they've gotten all of the West Coast, all of the South Coast. They've got Central. They've got Southeast. Like literally, just Northeast is just complete barren.
We're just
Like,
complaining.
guys, next year all three better be Maine, New York, Pittsburgh.
Maine.
Because
Look. I'll give them. You don't have to go to Maine.
Maine,
Then again, if you find a convention hall in Maine, that is probably cheap to rent because like ain't nobody going there.
yeah, you go to Maine. I've been looking for a
Probably have a
reason to go to Maine.
16-hour drive from the airport, but don't worry about it.
16-hour ride to the bus.
Yeah.
All right, finally here we got the made to order Middle Earth alongside the 2023 Hobby Bingo. For those people who are not in the know, every year they do a Hobby Bingo for them, and then they do made to order, which I think is interesting because like one of the things they brought back was Rangers of Illithin, Ithilien, which they just retired.
Right.
Uh,
I'm kind of wondering if this is a, hey guys, we're going to use the mold one last time. This is your heads up. That was your warning.
well, so there's still the Rangers of the North and Dunedin models. So
Okay.
who knows? And then, like I said, the hobby, the bingo card.
Right.
I would like to do this. I'd like to just because I've had my Middle Earth army for so long and I haven't really painted it, and it should be painted.
Give me some motivation.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe
Good.
we'll do it. You should do it. Everyone should do it.
Maybe.
All right, let's see here. Moving along, the one piece of news that we skipped over. LVO. All right, the LVO reveals. First, starting up, Strike Force Augusta makes Planetfall with new Desolation Marines and Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Is that a new Dreadnought? Or
Yes,
is that
it's a
just-
new dreadnought. Slight changes from the other. So it reminds me of, I forget what the other kit is called right now off the top.
Does the other one have nipple guns?
It has some cool guns, but not positioned like this. So I'm a fan of it personally.
Yeah.
It looks like we got either dual plasma, I think is what it is, or dual heavy melta, maybe. in the center there, with a heavy stubber up top, which is pretty cool. I wonder what might be hidden underarm they normally put on a lot of the dreadnoughts, so that could be fun.
So it looks like we
But
have different hand options.
Yeah,
Grabby hands or pinchy hands.
right, right.
So yeah, looks cool for Dreadnought. We got a new heavy weapons kit. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm gonna be interested to see what it does and what like the explanation is, because
Yeah,
it's real strange to me. But I'll take
because
it.
Primaris, the one place they were missing was shooting. Like they were like, there was no good shooting with that. Kit.
Right, right. I mean, this is the Devastator squad, hopefully for Primaris, and so if you want to run something other than the Melta unit, you're good. Yeah. And the new Primaris Lieutenant's pretty cool looking kit.
Yeah.
I like it. Power Fist is good that you can have it.
I still really like that. The one that they showed for the book. It was in the white armor.
Oh, yes. No, I agree. It's good looking.
All right, moving along here. Next, they revealed the Vashtor. Vashtor, the Archifane, invades the Dark Angels' home turf. So, the big, creepy skeleton...
Terrifying guy. Yeah.
Boy, I guess they showed pictures of him last time. Now they're just saying, hey, it's coming out in a book.
Right.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's cool. It looks like they're getting a new... I forget what their dreadnoughts are actually called, but it's cool looking.
Yeah, the Hellbrutes.
Yes, there we go, the Hellbrute. So that's really cool. A new Chaos Cultist kit. So
they should be embarrassed to put Deathwing Terminators in a box in 2023.
yeah, I feel like if you wanted Deathwing Terminators, they're probably out there somewhere, and you can get them for
like this should have been. This maybe should have been the box where you showed Primaris Terminators.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, yeah, it should be a unit of Blade Guard vets and something else in there in place of these 5 Terminators.
Should be
2 3-man units.
Hellblasters and new Primaris Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, it's not bad. That would have fit with theme.
would have got people pretty fucking hard, man. Well, it's funny. It's like, it's funny. Like, I really want new Primaris. Well, personally, what I really want is updated Grey Knights, and I don't care whether they're Primaris or not. Just make them
just bring them into the current. Yeah,
move on with your day. But like from Space Marines, I want to see what the Primaris Terminators look like so fucking bad. And like, even when I'm not talking to people, I'm just listening, you hear Primaris Terminators all the time.
Right, yeah. Sadly, I feel like they gave us Blade Guard vets and they're like, well, that's them. They have a pistol and that's it for their range, but they're carrying a storm shield, so be happy.
Yeah. Boo. All right, so we got what is this called? The Dance of Danger with Grycel's Arenai.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's more...
I'm a little... I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little underwhelmed.
Yeah. I don't know. It's odd looking because I see what they were going for, but...
I mean, I have the original Daughters of Cain warband like right over here on my shelf. And like, I think they look really cool, and like these ones, not so much. Like they're very bog spire. Again, I don't mean to be. I'm trying to be less insulting,
right?
But these seem to be very uninspired.
I don't know if it's that or they just left the Daughters of Cain aesthetic just enough that my brain's just like, are they Daughters of Cain? And has to take a second to think about it. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, there's been plenty of time where I've sat around looking at Chuck's models while we BS, and so yeah, like there's a whole unit that just wear these helmets and.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So excited.
So again, like I said, for people that are still playing Underworlds, I'm sure you'll like it. For the people that are playing Daughters of Cain, I'm sure you'll like it. So
Yeah.
then we got some Seraphon stuff. So we started off with a
Yeah.
swan, really fucking
Yeah.
cool looking.
No, agreed. I love all the moss and everything on the chair. It's awesome.
Yep, yep. Which, by the way, there is a actual paint that creates fake moss. So
Good. Good.
do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I personally prefer the one with the headdress.
Okay. No, I can see that. Definitely. He looks a lot more distinguished, we'll put it that way. Like I should care about
I mean,
him.
honestly, probably the albino skink is really probably my favorite. But
Oh, see, I was gonna say little purple frog dude, but I'll take it. I'll
well,
take it.
I've already seen little purple frog dude being heralded as model of 2023. So,
Oh, of course, of course.
but no. So we got. Uh, so we at least found out what the fan thingy is.
Right. The skink.
The skink riders on their
Yeah.
chicken dinosaurs, which I think these are adorable.
Yeah. No, they're cool looking.
I'm not gonna lie, like they're either broken or they're going to be worthless.
You're probably right, is the thing though, right?
Because like
So
skinks are only good because they are dirt ass cheap and
and then
run.
you could buff them to crazy amounts. Yeah.
And so like if you're like, okay, well now we're gonna put them on a mount. Okay, well now you're talking about tripling or quadrupling their cost.
Right. Is
And
that mount going to be worth it? Is the question.
yeah. So I love the way it looks. I think it's really cool. I don't think I don't think you needed to give Seraphon new units.
They do have a big enough catalog that they probably could have done without and just update kits.
I think this would have been much better as the Seraphon Knight upgrade.
Right.
So then you'd have the Seraphon Knight upgrade, and then you would also have the Saurus Warrior upgrade. Which I'm also not going to lie, I was kind of hoping that they were going to be bringing back Temple Knights. And again, I know I've in the line they have Saurus Warriors, and then they still have something above that,
Temple Guard.
the Temple Guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But yeah, I mean, these are awesome. These are beyond awesome.
Yeah, they are. Great sculpt. I'm excited to see them
let's
across the
see.
table, see what kind of crazy dinosaurs people come up with.
And I think they said somewhere that this is not everything.
Right.
It's gonna be a rough one. I'm gonna try not to start a Seraphon army.
No, I agree. The new
Because
Warriors look
I'll tell you,
great
here's
too.
the main problem. Here's the main problem with starting a Seraphon army. Do I do realistic lizards where they're all like super brown, earth tones, stuff like that? Do I do every single different Seraphon is a different fluorescent color?
Oh boy.
Or do I do each block of units is their own fluorescent color?
Ooh. So I think you have to go fluorescent colors. I don't know if each block of units has to be their own, but like all the Saurus are one thing, all the skinks are one thing.
Well,
something like
just
that.
to get a little offensive, and with my own personal lore, I could be like, hey, it's like whenever ladies live together and their cycles sync. When Saurus warriors get together, their colors sync. That's
boy. I'll tell you what, though, I do like the paint scheme that they have down at the bottom here, where it looks like a Saurus warrior who is like partially spirit realm, which is pretty cool with the lore idea. So,
well, I mean, to me, this is coalesced.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Not coalesced. The
no.
Starborn.
Yes.
It says it right up here, Starborn. So that to me is like, and that's awesome. That is so smart.
Right. No, I love it.
And
I
again,
love to see the
I am
army.
shocked that this is the Summer Army. I thought for sure it was going to be one of the summer books, and the summer was going to be Dawnbreaker.
No. I think, especially since we're still getting some renderings, if we're lucky, we get it for holiday this coming year, so people can buy it up during that time.
But they never release.
What?
See, the thing is so they release stuff
Hmm.
April and now July. So
Right.
it's like April, July, October, January. Like, or I guess it'd go January, April.
Right.
And, like, that's
well,
what
then
you get.
At best, then I'm going to say that the Dawnbreaker Crusade will be the next January release at best,
Yeah.
in my mind.
If not, they might be reserving it for 4th edition.
That's very true. Just release it with the fourth edition as it comes out. Say, here's the army box, and also here's the rest of the kits. Might be the time.
Which goes with the rumors that Oathbringers, 4th
boy.
edition.
There you go.
Tell
There's
you,
some
man.
hope yet.
There's no hope. There's no hope.
They'll be fighting like what chaos god will they be fighting? Nurgle. I mean, we see so much art of them fighting Nurgle.
Oh no, it's going to be there's going to be a starter box set for 4th edition. That's literally Dawnbreaker Crusade versus Oathbringers. They're going to introduce 2 new armies with 2 full lines, same time,
Okay. Yeah.
guaranteed.
Definitely, W has never had logistical problems the last 2 to 3 years, so that will not be a problem at all. Yes,
Look, they're built up. They're ready to just unleash the load on us. That's
you're probably not too far off from the truth there.
all right. So here's one that I'm kind of torn on. The new Blood Hunt box set.
So,
Here, let's
Like-
start off. Let's start off with your guys. So we actually
yeah,
have,
okay.
So we
If we're gonna
have
talk,
Warcry
Khorne.
warbands that are actually dedicated to Khorne.
right?
Which again, like I know we just had ones for Nurgle, which is kind of weird. Like the whole point of the Warcry warbands was that they weren't far enough into the game that they understood that there were different chaos gods. And then
Right.
they were like, it's been 2 years, throw that out.
Yeah, that's true. They're pretty cool. Definitely some blood crazed weirdos. I personally am not a fan of the idea that like Khorne keeps pumping mortals full of stuff to turn them into beasts, but like the guy who seems to think that he is a flesh hound is definitely in there.
Yeah, so here's a real quick. I'll be going. I have the first 2 guys, the guy
Okay.
with the mask and 2 axes, and the lady with the chain whips,
Yep.
and then I'll be going towards El Doggo here. So
Okay.
dual axes.
Dual axes does it for me. Looks
Awesome.
great.
The helmet's
Yeah.
a little okay.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Everything else is so point on. I'll accept it.
Right. I agree. The hooks, it's okay. Not a big thing. Cool that we have a woman who is in the Khornite armies.
The receding
So I'll take that.
hairline kind of docks some points for me.
Yeah, I think it's just the way they're having her shave it or whatever.
But okay, I'll give her like a C plus.
Nah, I agree with that.
Then we have guy with axe and hook.
Who's missing an eye and is just blood crazed to the point that his teeth have been sharpened down and everything. Like
A plus.
he looks like he's supposed to be a brute. It's yeah, I'm in it.
A plus. El Doggo. I'm not even
Like,
gonna
it's
give you a B for. Oh, hey, look, that's the hand thing. That's the we just got that
Mhm.
rumor engine.
I think so. Yeah. No, I like the model. I don't like the lore behind it, but I like the model. Honestly, it's a cool idea.
I'll give you a D
Oh,
for
okay.
Doggo.
D for Doggo. Ugh.
Then you have the guy with looks like a scourge and brass knuckles.
Yeah, I think he's got another one of the flail things that the lady in the beginning is.
Look. If you're bringing brass knuckles to an Age of Sigmar fight, you get an A. All right.
I mean, I don't know if it's brass knuckles or it's just a knife, but if it's brass knuckles,
Well, for me,
there we go.
if I get this kit and there's a knife on there, I'm cutting it off and he's getting brass
We're
knuckles.
making brass knuckles. Okay.
We're
done.
going fucking boxing here.
Yeah.
Dual axe lady?
I like everything except for the mask again. I
Yeah.
think them painting her purple didn't help the model, is what the problem is. If anyone's
I
looking at
think
it, and doesn't like it.
the mask for me is going to bring it down to a B.
Okay, okay, I'm cool with that.
Two spear boys, B plus.
Yeah. Is it just me, or is the spear boy on top missing his left hand?
I believe so.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we all were in agreement that yeah, Boyo suffered some battle damage before.
And again, I also want to say, like, as far as giving these guys a B, these are clearly just the rank and file. They should be a B.
Yeah, and it's good that they are a B. Like, I don't want them to outshine everything, but I'm glad they're a good-looking model.
I love the fur collars on everybody.
Oh yeah, it looks great. Very good, cohesive.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to the vampires here because I'm really not sure what to think of these guys.
Yeah, it's difficult with them.
Now, with that being said, I did want a unit of vampires for Soul Blast.
That's true.
I don't know where I'm going to fit them, but I would now have them.
Right.
I think the leader with the two swords, I give that an A.
No, I agree. And I kind of wish, looking at this, that we kind of would have kept a little bit more with that samurai style armor going down the thighs a little bit more often in here. Like, I think he could have stayed with that for all of these guys.
Yeah, that's a really weird...
Well, I guess they did. They kept with that there, but, like, I don't know. The shoulder pauldrons almost feel too big and bulky to me, I guess is what it is between them all.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'll give them an A, but it's an A with an asterisk, because there's something that's sticking in my craw that there's a reason, there's something about these guys that's preventing me from going out and pre-ordering the box set.
No, I think I agree with you. I know these are good models in my mind. And
the guy with the ropes, I think it's... I want to give it an A, but I'm going to give it a B.
I agree. He feels too closed, at least from where we're seeing him.
Yeah. Who knows? It might be one of the ones that looks different in person.
Yeah, definitely.
Hood guy.
Hood guy looks awesome. Yeah, exactly.
Super Saiyan Highlander. A.
There you go. There you go.
Lady with a glaive. A. Fucking Werehyena. Werebat. A.
Okay, see, the werebat doesn't do it for me, but the woman does.
Then you have the great hammer. Here's the one where the shoulder pauldrons get in my way.
Right. It's just too much.
I wonder if you could get rid of the rib cage.
I bet you could. That's probably not too difficult to snip away.
As long as the arms aren't molded, because I'm not green stuffing it.
No, I agree.
And again, then the guy with the well, so it's technically a comma. No.
I don't know what it's called.
No, well, it's comma is like kind of a straight hook thing. It's more of a sickle, but another roped weapon. This is like the ropes for some reason just don't do it for me. Now, with that being said, they are thicker, which I like for transportation and using more.
For the fact that you would like to use this model at some point, yeah. As somebody who has enough elf models with broken pieces here or there, yeah.
The terrain kit, I think the terrain kit is just fine. I think it continues in the same style.
Yeah, I'm glad to see some decent elevation changes in here and some good line of sight blocking for Warcry. Because I think the elevation rules are what is actually very fun about Warcry. I was a little
disappointed that this wasn't the terrain piece that I called out earlier as being Seraphon terrain piece.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah.
I think this
Same jungle. Same jungle.
Yeah. So we'll see. Then we got a Cerberus heavy tank. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you are excited about this, I'm happy for you.
Same. I mean, I'm just not overly thrilled about wanting to get into the Dark Heresy is my thing, I think. If I were into Dark Heresy real hard, yeah, probably happy about it.
I have enough tanks.
Fair enough.
Even though I'm not in. I wouldn't mind getting into Dark Heresy, like if there's a little bit of a bigger group. Like if there was
If the local area had a huge group, yeah, they'd probably suck me into it.
Yeah. I don't know who I would go. I would probably either go Ultramarines or Word Bearers.
See, I'm running salamanders right now in my regular 4K. Oh, excuse me. So I would probably still be running salamanders.
So now's the time to break out and do something different.
Maybe. I'd
right.
have to choose a chaos faction then.
And then we got the Soul Shackle for Kill Team.
Yeah.
Where we got some Dumb Elves and the Arbites.
Yeah.
And again, don't let anyone tell you differently. It is Adeptus Arbites. It's not Arbites. It's not Arbites. It's Arbites.
No, I agree with you completely.
Now, the only thing I gotta say, so here's the thing. I think these models are pretty cool.
Yep.
The only thing that is a disappointment is 100% understandable, and I think they were smart.
Okay.
And it's the helmets.
Oh yeah, no, they were definitely careful about those helmets.
So the helmets,
you can't do the half mask with this aesthetic and be like, "Hey, take 5, think about it."
Now
you watch the movie
helmets,
again.
I think those helmets are inspired from Sisters of Battle.
No, I think I agree with you.
They're just visor instead of the. Now, if it was up to me, I would probably go and find some Judge Dredd helmets, slap them on there, and go, this is what you boys wanted. Don't worry.
We know what you wanted. We'll finish it for you.
I love Cyberdog.
Yeah, actually, I think you had messaged me just a few days before all this was announced and said, I think this is just saying Arbites are on the way, or Arbites are on the way.
I love the shotguns, man. Love fucking shotguns. And then we got Eldar. Dark Eldar. Whatever.
Yeah, some Dark Eldar. They look good.
They look
pretty fun weapon options. Looks like it's going to be quite the cast of characters, so they're always fun.
Boy, they really they don't want to get creative with this army. They're like, we've come up with an aesthetic, and we are not leaving that field. That's
they're sticking to it, which I understand. I think there's obviously are a little bit more detail going on here, but they're sticking to it.
Then we have the terrain piece, more walls, a couple more.
Yeah, more walls.
Which again, like I said, I think basically, honestly, what I would like to do, but I don't have the time nor money, is every time they get a box set, buy the box set. When they're done with this season, put them all together to make a friggin' Zone Mortalis board out of just terrain.
That'd be fun.
Did you build your Kill Team yet?
I have not, but it is sitting ready to be the next thing that actually gets done around this house.
Because again, that's one of the things is because I like the 40k lore.
No, I agree.
For as much as I just bitched about Warhammer 40k and everyone that plays it,
I don't know if it's all the people who play it or if it's
I'm just going to lump them in together, because the people who I wouldn't mind playing aren't going to care that I said that, and the people I don't want to play will be the ones that get upset about me saying that. So it's a good filter. It's a self-insert filter. And here's another thing that I'm going to point out real quick while I'm thinking about it again. If you play Age of Sigmar, don't encourage these people to come play Age of Sigmar. Just tell them, the double turn's the worst. It's just the worst.
Yeah.
Do you want to get turned twice in a row? Who does that? It's a dumb baby's game. Stay away.
Yeah.
But no, so if I wanted to play 40k right now, ironically I'd play 30k or Guilty.
Okay. Well, whenever I get this all built together and I have the Kroot and the what are the actual Astra? It's not Militarum.
Navy,
yeah. The Navy ready to go. We'll get some games in here.
All right, so let's get into some rumor engines, which I think we are done with some of them.
Yeah, actually.
I don't think we saw this hammer thing.
Don't recognize it. No.
It's a Necromunda thing. You can tell by the thing.
Right. Yeah. definitely Necromunda in some way, shape, or form.
This is definitely a Seraphon thing.
What do you think? Oh yeah, I see the lizard hand now.
Yeah,
Okay.
little skinky hands. We're getting a new skink priest model.
Yeah, be all right with that. 17th we just saw. That was part of the Arbitrate.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's the little eagle thing right up here.
Yep.
And then here's the little cornhound guy.
Yeah. Which I'm glad that we're already seeing stuff that was in the rumor engine instead of having to dig back 6 months and go, there it is.
Okay. You know, here, that's fine. We're going to do something a little on the fly here just because I don't got anything else to show over here on the other side.
Yeah,
so we're just going to go to Games Workshop.
Just figure it out. Be good.
And we'll pull up our topic. Hell's Handbook.
Boom. Welcome to Season 2. Actually, Season 3, but don't let anyone know.
Yeah. So there we go. So, Joe's Handbook, Season 2, for once, they actually got the book to me on time.
I had to go and find my new local gaming store, and so it was nice to meet all of them.
Shout them out. Lucky. Who is it?
It is Freedom Gaming. Down in North Canton area. Really cool group of dudes. I walked in the shop, I think on a random Tuesday because I just wanted to go down and see. The book hadn't come out yet. Said, hey, can I get it whenever it comes out? Yep. Set up for pre-order. I got a discount for pre-ordering it. So cool. Yeah, real cool group. I'm going to go back. So
Awesome. Well, if they ever start doing events or anything, let me know and
will do. I'll definitely
take some time for you and you take some time for me, and
of course
we'll keep it together. So all right, so let's right from the get-go, just general overview, give it your letter grade.
So I will admit that I haven't spent a whole lot of time with this book.
Tentative letter grade.
Tentative overgrade right now is probably a B- right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, unlike some of the last season, where I feel like every army at least had a way of interacting with all the rules in there and doing something good with it, I think there was pretty good chance, and I think all the people who won with so many various armies proves it. But this, I think, is just going to be really difficult for some armies because there just aren't heroes worth taking in the category here for our gallant heroes. And I think that's going to cause a struggle for some.
So for me, I'm going to give this, I'm torn between an A and a B+.
Okay.
I hated season 1.
Okay.
To the point where I basically didn't play for 6 months.
All right. No, I see where you're at. Yep.
So that makes me want to give it an automatic A.
Okay.
But I do have to give it some standalone grade on its own. Like, I can't necessarily
Can't be like, I'm gonna play again, so obviously it's an A. Yeah.
You're my favorite uncle because the other one touches me. No, that's not
right.
So I think we'll go with a B. B+.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I can stomach that.
For me, I think, and again, I think our critiques are going to line up, but in different ways.
Okay.
I give it a B as opposed to an A because I don't like the battle tactics.
Okay. The battle tactics are very well, except for like the very common ones from last season. They are not giving those to you for free. That is for darn certain. Not that they gave you the last ones for free, but this feels like it's a step harder now.
Right. And like, The problem is I feel like it's going to do is it's just going to be a case of the rich get richer,
It might be.
where the
If you had a
people who are going 4-1, people who are going 5-0, are just going to continue to get all their battle tactics.
right, I think they're going. Yes, but I think they understand what they're doing on a list building level as well. A lot of those people, I think you'll have some armies that just sit there and they go, I can't even get some of these, and you'll have some like, what is it for me? Iron Jaws. I think will just kind of oops their way in with a boss on foot and just be like, cool, I'm gonna do some of these just because I can.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I think
Not that that's bad.
the one thing is like order armies
Hmm.
are all going to be fine
For the most part, yeah,
because worst case scenario they can just bring in some Stormcast.
yeah,
I mean that's
yeah.
it might not be what you want,
But they're there,
or you can bring in most people can bring in Cities of Sigmar.
right?
As for Death, I think Death is going to be fine.
Yeah, it's
Largely.
basically built of a bunch of small heroes like this. Yeah,
Right. Um, Largely speaking, I think Chaos will be fine.
yes, there might be this. Skaven book will be fine still. They have a lot of heroes. They just not all of them are fighty, but you hit up
Right.
with like an assassin or something if you need it, and you're good to go.
Well, again, like one of the things that I saw from Warhammer Weekly, and I agree 100%, is um, I don't think the book. And again, so this is my pro con,
Mm-hmm.
where I don't think the rules. So like, let's take away the battle tactics and just look
Yeah.
at the rules. Like one of the reasons why season 1 was ruined for me was the Galician veteran. Just
Yeah,
horrible.
that keyword, and then you're playing around with. Well, obviously, I have to take some bounty hunters. Okay, do I want to take the people who can hold better now? Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's not even like that. It's like, again, it's okay. Well, guess what? We're going to tell you how you have to play now. You have to
Right.
come up with a whole new list because if you focus on your foot heroes or your foot troops, you're just going to get stomped because someone's going to see that, take bounty hunters, and wipe you off the board in half the time.
it's possible.
It was so, to me,
Hmm.
over invasive.
Okay,
Whereas this, I think this is
under.
not under. I think it's a. I think in general,
Mhm.
it's pretty close to the mark. However, I think they didn't do what they were intending to do, i.e., foot hero fighters
Right.
are still not good.
I agree with that. You did not do what we did way back whenever we had monsters that we took from being never take to have to have.
Right.
That was great work there. I agree with you here. I think the problem is they were scared too,
Yeah.
because
And
we all
honestly,
get so many abilities from these heroes of this size category and everything.
this is the way I'd rather have them go. I'd rather have them go a step under than a step over.
Right.
Because again, like I said 1,000 times before, this is a game that exists between 1 and 6.
Yeah.
Ticking something up 1 is tremendous.
Right.
And so whenever you start going into like loosey-goosey rules,
Mm.
oh boy.
Yeah.
You guys do not have the playtest structure to fully grasp the ramifications of certain
Yeah.
rule changes.
No, it definitely doesn't seem like it.
I mean, honestly, like if they would have just play tested 2 people out of the whatever they did for the
Mhm.
last one, they would have been like, guys, this is a terrible idea. The Stormcast player just is threatening to punch me is waiting outside. But yeah, so let's take a look here. So
Yeah.
for the battle plans, we got half were new, half were old.
Yeah. Which I'm okay with it.
Right, that's fine.
There were some really good battle plans in the last one. There were some that were, please get rid of them. So I'm okay
Let's
with
hear
this.
Prize of Galay.
Yeah.
Realmstone Cache. Battle Lines Drawn was the old one, right? I think the first 6 are all Lurkers Below. I was surprised to see Lurkers Below stay.
Yeah, I don't think it got as used to terribly often.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, what I wish GW would do at this point is, at this point, they should know from whenever we had our monster season and our last season with all of the little guys running around, you should be able to make 10 battle plans that are cohesive and everyone likes and always work, and we're in every single tournament.
Yeah.
Or at least 8, instead of like, well, we got 4, and what's going to be the other one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, everyone's favorite, In the Presence of Idols.
Right.
The problem is I can never remember who my idols are.
Yeah.
I just, oh, a Nihilist Path. Okay. And I like Nihilist Path. I know some people don't.
It's difficult for some folks. I think it's the setup. That's a little big thing for a lot of folks. If you can figure out the setup, I think it's a good mission.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just... see, again, like, even... I'm starting to think of, like, well, I played it a bunch with Giants. And I didn't really have an issue
right
keeping an eye on that. So, like... okay, so the next one we got, the first new one we got is Only the Worthy. So this is... Here, we'll do that. Show the layout.
Right.
And so it's... while there are any Galician champions within 6 inches of an objective, only Galician champions can contest that objective. In addition, no more than one Galician champion from the same army can contest the same object or same objective in the same way. And then beyond that, it's hold 1, hold 2, hold more.
Right. So I like the idea. If you have a champion on it, your opponent can't take it off of you until they kill your champion. That's basically what it boils down to.
That was actually an old idea I had for KO.
Oh, okay.
I thought that would have been really a cool idea for them because, like, it's the as long as there's a champion on there, you just can't take it off.
There's at least one stubborn old dwarf on there who doesn't want to leave. Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
Path of a Champion.
Yeah.
As far as this one goes,
music out with that.
What's that?
That sounds like something you got to get the Rocky music out for.
Yeah, I was like, I love the name of it, but I can't remember what's with this one. So at the start of your hero phase, if any friendly Galician champions are contesting an objective that is wholly outside of your territory, you can pick 2 battle tactics to complete this turn instead of 1.
Right.
So for that,
it's going to be difficult because I feel personally, which we didn't go over the battle tactics, but
we'll get there.
There are 4 that are the exact same from last season, and you'll probably do and take every game. And then the other ones that deal with your heroes are what's left.
Right.
And if you have a book that's good at those, you'll love this mission because you're just going to double up on the turn.
Oh, yeah. Like, especially if you go with a smart Daughters player into this match, just shake hands and go get an early drink.
There you go.
Because they're going to have 10 more points than you no matter what you do.
Right. Those extra 2 points are a lot in a game of Age of Sigmar these days.
Right. So, like I said, I think it's a good idea. Again, the issue is that they did not seem to bequeath all of the battle tomes that they have been working on with the same generous hand of battle tactics.
Right.
Like, I looked through some of my Fireslayer ones. There's one where I literally have to die. A unit has to, or I think it might be a hero. A hero has to die after killing a unit in the same turn.
Oh boy.
I'm like,
yeah, that's setting it up.
Or you could go fuck yourself.
Just tell them how you really feel.
And then there's like one where you have to kill a hero with hand axes.
Oh boy. Jeez.
Again, another like,
jeez, just set up Mission Impossible for me.
Let's check the rules again. Yeah, it says here, go fuck yourself again. So now we have the Jaws of Galay.
Very interesting setup for this.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to put. Like, if you have a horde army, it's going to be a little rough.
Yeah, yeah. No, a lot of armies are just going to have to pick a side and hope for the best from there.
Uh, so again, here's the rules that everyone ignores. The attacker picks which territory is their territory. So
Right.
now that now that I've brought everyone back, everyone's attention back,
Yeah.
the other territory is the defender's territory. Oh no, hold on a minute.
Hmm.
Okay, now we'll be good.
Yeah.
The player then use alternating deployment, so it's the same as normal. Swallowed by the caverns. Oh yeah,
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 it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
a special bit. Yeah.
At the start of each battle round after the first, after priority has been determined, the player taking the second turn in that battle round can pick one objective on the battlefield to be swallowed by the caverns below. If they do so, that objective is removed from play.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't a huge fan of this when it was in season one.
Yeah. And here's the fun part. You can do this every single round after the first, unlike just once on round three.
Right.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
If you're smart, you'll be giving the turn away a lot.
Yeah. So, like I said, we'll see. I think it'll be fine.
Mhm.
It's just going to be annoying.
Yeah.
Then we have a very similar layout. Ours for the taking.
Yeah.
For this one, it's essentially here. This will be just easier to show. So, if this is your objective, this point costs the most. That point is worth the least, and that's the same for both of you. Good luck.
There you go.
I look at these like missions like this, and I just go, "It's not gonna happen.
I hear you.
It's just not gonna happen. There's no way I can push through somebody. Like it's just, I've never had an army that does so much damage that I can."
Well, that's
Push
why I
through
think
a
they're
lot.
trying to do the strange setup where you're reaching out more on one side or the other. It's going to be interesting to see how players set up for the first time, so I get to play this mission.
Yeah, I'm just gonna defend the living piss out of mine, and then put like a third of my army towards the middle.
There you go.
Then we have twists and turns.
Yeah,
Let's see, which one
this
is
is an
this?
odd looking one. Looks very similar to what we've seen before. Is
Yeah, we
this
have the
just
L's
gonna
again.
be the
At the
objectives
end of
moving
each
to the
player,
center?
oh, is this one? Okay, I think I know which one this is. At the end of each player's turn, after any victory points. Now again, everyone, this is the important part.
Mhm.
After any victory points have been scored, the player whose turn it is taking place must roll a die for each active objective they control. Add one to the roll if it is being contested by Galician champions. On a 1 to 3, the objective becomes inactive. On a 4+, it remains active.
Yeah.
And then at the start of each player's hero's phase, if you are within 6 inches of an objective, roll a die, and you see what becomes active.
Right. So things are going to be flipping on and off, and hopefully your tournament organizer is not mean to you and makes you play this mission, because you're going to have to figure some way out of telling this one's active, this one isn't. Okay, your turn just ended. Now I have to roll to see if it turns back on. It's going to be odd.
Yeah, I actually, well, so again, see, here's one of the things is like, I don't mind a bit of randomness.
No,
At the end of the day, if you hold more objectives, now there is 5 objectives on here.
right,
If you hold more objectives, statistically you will win.
correct.
And if you start losing, just hold more objectives.
Right.
But like I said, I definitely think this is going to be the new shifting objectives.
I agree. Yeah.
And then finally we have position over power.
Yeah.
This is another weird one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we got these flank objectives as well that we lose on the 4th battle round. Interesting.
see, like, this is where I kind of want to get. I want to see them get a little more creative.
Right. No, I see what they were going for here, I think. We're just basically fighting over a bridge type of an idea.
Yeah. Well, kind of what I would have done with this is I would have had it say, like, lost in a landslide.
Mhm.
The player who goes second on the, this one thing, like the fourth battle round.
Right. It's so late that you can't make it one player picks one of them or something.
Please.
Yeah. Right.
But I would have literally just had everything. I like the player who goes second chooses which direction everything shifts, and everything like shifts one in that direction.
Boy.
So like that shifts over, and then that's gone.
Right. That could be very interesting. Yeah.
But like I said, beyond that, there's. I think that's a little. Okay.
It's an odd one. It definitely says, "Hey, did you build a castle well?" Yes. Okay. Do you have flankers to go out and grab an objective real quick?
Yeah. So this is score 1, score 2, score more, and then on top of that, score an additional 1, or score 1 victory point if you control any flank objectives that are contested by a friendly Galician champion.
Right. Which are probably your slower heroes because they're all foot heroes. So if they make it all the way out to the flank, which isn't impossible, it's only 15 inches away if you're doing smart movement here. But
yeah, like I said, I think that's fine. What do we got? No update to the player's code. I was a little disappointed on that. I was hoping they were going to bring something about keeping your genitalia in your pants. And
no.
It's gray. Where does it say don't do that?
In the law, in probably the law of wherever it is you're playing, it says to do that.
Really putting a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of weight. All right, where the hell's the damn? Realm rules. Okay. So we got the special rules where we got the Galician champion, foot hero that has less than 10 wounds.
Yep.
And is not unique. No mount.
Right.
You get to be a Galician champion. Hooray for you.
Yep.
Still, I still wish they would just put you may designate.
Right.
But it's not a big a deal in this because there's very few like, oh, do an extra blah, 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 blah.
Right. You're not doing a bunch of extra damage to those heroes.
And then we have the key to victory. Friendly Galician champions cannot be picked as target of attacks made with missile weapons while they are within 1 inch of any friendly battle line unit.
Interesting.
For me, this is just coming home again.
Right.
When I played 5th edition 40k, you just had a hero in the unit, and then you chose where the wounds went. You just didn't choose your hero.
Yep, very much like current edition 40k, where they're close by, so you can't shoot them.
Right.
So I'm cool with it.
Like I said, I think I would like to see something like this put in 4th edition, where it's just outside of 9 or outside of 12, you can't shoot. Like you have to get closer just to be
able to pick that one individual out.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Desperate action. If you're taking the second turn in the current battle round at the start of your hero phase, you can pick one friendly Galician champion on the battlefield to carry out 2 different heroic actions instead of 1. And then we have, I'm sure it's just a coincidence, 2 new heroic actions.
Wow.
One essentially allows for your hero, your Galician champion, to fight if they're within 3.
Yep.
And then the second one is, if you did fight with the hero, then he can choose a unit wholly within, was it 3? No.
6.
Yep, looking at the wrong one. Wholly within 6. So
yep.
It's going to be situational, but
right.
Boy, if you can get it.
Yeah.
I
think there are some units that will really benefit from getting that out of sequence fight.
Once again, going back to the Warhammer Weekly, Vince said that he thinks that that's largely a trap, and I can see where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's definitely some units where it's not a trap. Like I think of my Hearthguard Berserkers, which I think he called out specifically.
Mm-hmm.
like that's what made Hearthguard Berserkers good, was getting an extra attack in a round.
Right. I think the big thing is the always strikes last effect applying is what he's warning you about. But I think
Right.
there are going to be times where you're going to do this in the hero phase, you don't get hit back, and then you're just not going to charge later that turn. Quite
Right. Well,
honestly,
so here's the thing is,
just free up
with
movement.
Hearthguard Berserkers, that's one of the units that can actually wipe something out.
Right.
If you wipe it out, and then someone charges you, you have the ability to use your command ability to strike first.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
And
It's
then
not
on
bad
top
at
of
all.
that, to skip ahead a little bit from the core
Yeah.
battalions, if you're also a Galician champion, or
Right.
if you have the Galician command, you can then also ignore that.
Yeah.
Then you also have the Galician sharpshooters, which is up to 3 infantry. They
Right.
can shoot like normal.
Right. You go back to being allowed to have the old rules.
I think I've heard a couple people complain about this, and I'm like, they're like, oh, it's bounty hunters all over again. I'm like, no, you're just playing the game like you were just playing the game 2 days ago.
Right. It's not like we added a bunch of damage on here or anything. I don't think this is a must take. Will it help because Galician heroes are so worthwhile? Yeah. So you'll see it taken, but it's not going to be the end all be all.
With my list, I had a couple units just hanging out outside of battalions, and I almost
Yeah.
put them in sharpshooters, like my Hearthguard, but I only have 2
Mhm.
units of Hearthguard, so. Because hell, it's only a 9-inch little, like, waka, but to be throwing that at your heroes, like, you just be like, shit, this is going to be the time.
Right. Yeah.
And then we have our Galician veterans that maintain the ability to attack whenever you're base-to-base contact with someone that's within base-to-base contact.
Yeah.
I think
Which is good. Hopefully that will just become a 4.0 rule.
yeah, it has to. It has to. Like I said, I mean, it either needs to become a rule or they just need to be very specific and very intentful whenever they put a 1-inch reach in.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Then we have the Realm Sphere Magic, where you pick a unit or pick a objective within 12, and you deal. You roll a die for each unit within 6 inches, and on a 4+, you deal D6 mortal wounds.
I think, unlike the last realm spell, which I can't even tell you what it did off the top of my head, this one will probably see some use.
What was the last one? The last one. I can remember the one before it. It made you a monster.
Yep. Couldn't tell you what the last one did. It was like a fireball or something.
Yeah, so I'm a little nervous about this one, and I don't know if you've been studying up on the Beast of Chaos book. There's a prayer that does the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Dear God, Beasts of Chaos are going to be.
They're going to say, oh, you want to sit on that objective with your whole army. No, you don't. No, you do not.
Now, I would like to say, I think it would be neat, because D6 is a lot.
It is. It is, but it's on a 4-up. You got to cast. Yeah, no, it's still good. Sorry.
I wouldn't mind if they would have put a thing in here saying, unless, like, pick a objective that does not have a Galician champion within 6 of it.
Oh, see, I think what it should have been was just don't affect the Galician champions.
Okay.
Just flat out, you can't hit them because they're
Or,
heroes.
better yet, pick an objective with a Galician champion within 6.
Ooh, that could be fun too. Yeah.
And then the Realm Command, no retreat, no surrender. I honestly, I don't remember this one.
Me neither.
You can use this command ability at the start of the combat phase. The unit that receives this command must be a friendly unit that is not a hero or monster, that did not charge in the same turn, and that is within 3 inches of an enemy unit. That unit cannot make pile-in moves in that phase, but add 1 to attack characteristics for melee weapons.
That could be very good if
Shit,
you found your way into the next round.
I'm gonna have to remember that, because the Runefather has an ability to once per battle give a unit of Hearthguard Berserkers +1 attack. Not
There
a
you
command
go.
ability.
Welcome to +2 attacks. There you are.
Put that on the turn where I get the 5 up on the trend.
Yeah, no, between that and just the blades on Namarti Thralls, I
No, it
can
doesn't work
wind
for.
up with
It says it doesn't work on.
yeah, it says it doesn't work there, I know, but
Yeah,
like if it did work, it'd be like 40 attacks out of one 10-man unit, which would be fun.
Then we got artifacts of power. I think these are cool. I don't know if I'd be able to squeeze them into a list.
The 5-up ward will find its way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Promise you that.
So Griff Feather Charm, 5-up ward, Tusk Helm. What is that? On your charge, roll a die for what is it? Each target. Yeah.
Yeah.
For each 4-up, or roll a die equal to the number you charged.
Right. It's ogre charges.
Which is
for each 4-up, 1 mortal, which isn't bad.
It's only good when it's used against you. That's.
Yes, it is.
And then we got the Night Flyer Cloak.
It's an odd one, putting a unit in reserve.
In reserve, like fucking Batman watching from above.
Yeah, I don't see too many times where I want somebody to not be on the field.
Yeah, no, not really. And then the cool thing we got is the unique enhancements. So the aspects of the champion. So you get one of these just like you get an artifact, just like everything else.
Right.
You don't have to do anything for it. You just get it. So as far as that goes, you have Tunnel Master, which is probably the one that most people go with, where you just teleport a model once per game. Then you have Fueled by Gurish Rage. Whenever a hero is killed, you roll a die and a 3-up. He's not killed. The wounds are negated, and he heals D3 wounds.
Gets up, starts swinging again. On the real killy ones, it'll be fun.
It's okay. Now, if it was an attack,
right?
Now it's on the menu.
I hear you.
Now it's on the menu. And then you have Stubborn as a Rhinox, where it counts as the Gleason Champion counts as 10 models on objective. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Somebody tries and get in there with some fast-moving unit and just say, actually, no.
Yeah.
This guy's going to hold it.
The other one I think that is really good is Leadership of the Alpha, where you can issue a command ability once per battle. You can issue a command ability up to 3 times to 3 separate units. And it's Rally, All-Out Attack, All-Out Defense, or Redeploy.
Right, just the basic ones, but it could be good.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Especially, I mean, I'm thinking about situations like with the new Gabos.
Yeah.
You have 3 redeploy or 3 rallies on a 3-up? 4-up?
Oh, I don't know where they're at right now, honestly. But yeah, that'll be great. I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, Beasts will love this as well because they can do it on a 4-up so often. Right. Yeah.
So let's just say they're both on 4-ups here. So now all of a sudden you have 3 units getting
half their models back.
Right.
Awesome. Oh, that hurt.
That's what I
hurt to read.
For the grand strategies, same thing as last time. There's some new ones and some old ones. Right. What do we got for the new ones? So the new ones are Stake a Claim.
Yep.
When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if 3 or more friendly Galician champions are wholly within enemy territory.
So of the 6 possible in your army, half of them are alive still and in enemy territory.
Sometimes I wonder if they play this game or they've just heard about this game.
They wanted it to be real difficult.
No, so going back to my idea of doing these on point tiers, that could be an easy 5-pointer.
Right, yeah, that's big.
If I see my opponent taking that and it's like, 5 or 6 points, I'm going to go, shit, what does he know that I don't?
Right, there you go.
Survivor's Instinct. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if the model picked to be your general is a Galician champion and that model is contesting objective wholly outside of your territory. It's not bad. It's doable.
It's doable. Obviously, he's going to have a target over his head, so it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah. I think there's some armies that could do this. I think it's Stormcast, Fire Slayers, Orcs.
Yeah, Orcs. Nighthawk probably could handle it.
Soul Blight.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. We just listed off a good number.
Yeah. The day is ours. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy. If there are more friendly Galician champions from your starting army than the Galician champions from your opponent's starting army on the battlefield. Dear God. Take a dice, roll a dice, and then roll another dice. If both dice are more than what your opponent rolls, then you win.
I mean, it's possible to do this one in the list building phase. You obviously probably start off with 5 or 6 Galician champions.
You have 6 Galician champions who are hiding.
Right. I mean, they can probably give some decent buffs, but still, it's tough because if your opponent also went for this one, it's very quickly not guaranteed.
Right. I mean, essentially, what this is a list of 6 things that say take what's theirs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I put in for our tournament this coming weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, it either says take what's theirs or please see Battle Tome. That's
right. Yeah.
For the battle tactics, we got gaining momentum, which we had before. Eye for an eye.
Same.
Fine. Desecrate their lands. Fine. This one's mine. Was that new? Pick one enemy.
No, this is the same, but it's not bad.
It's okay.
It's on the more difficult end. It's okay.
Yeah. A matter of honor. Pick one enemy Galician champion or sworn bodyguard unit on the battlefield. Sworn bodyguard unit is from the Galician Command Battle Tome.
Right.
Or battalion.
Yeah.
You complete this battle tactic if that unit is destroyed during this turn by an attack made by a friendly Galician champion or sworn bodyguard unit.
The or sworn bodyguard unit is what makes this possible.
So yeah, if you can fit that in there,
yep,
good for you. Otherwise, like, it's probably not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Lead the assault. You complete this battle tactic if at least 2 of the objectives you are controlling are in enemy territory and are each contested by a friendly Galician champion.
Tough.
Yeah.
Very tough. I think if you get this one, you're already winning.
Right.
Honestly.
Right. It's the Simpsons. Stop! He's already dead.
Right. Yeah. No. If you've gotten this somehow, either you and your opponent have just passed by each other like ships in the night, and you're both doing this to each other, or you've just crushed them and it's round 5, and you're like, I guess I'll take this one because you're not on the table.
I'm sorry. I'm going to take this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
United offense. Pick one objective controlled by your opponent. See, again, it would have been fine if they either would have gotten rid of enemy territory or Galician champion.
Yeah, I think if it's just not within your territory, it would have been okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, we get it. You came up with a theme.
Right. I got to push forward. I understand.
But when you come to my house, you give me a hug. You don't finger my butthole. All right? We get it. We get it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Just bring a pie like everyone else. Take one objective controlled by your opponent. You complete the battle tactic if you control that objective and 2 or more friendly Galician champions are contesting that objective at the end of this turn. Again, man.
Take it. Have 2 Galician champs there.
Just come up with battle tactics that are doable, and then just go, and you need a Galician champion. Or make them a little rough and take the Galician champion thing out. Like, we don't need both.
No, I hear you.
In my army that I have, because again, like, also, that's one thing, like, I don't think they remembered, is the points are really high in this edition. Armies are smaller.
That is very true. Same problem that I had all last season as well, as the armies just felt slightly too small.
Right, and now points are coming down, and those armies are getting a little bit bigger, but like, not by much. Like the list I have, the Iron or the Fireslayer list I'm running right now, the only difference between what I have now and what I had was I replaced a Rune Lord with a Rune Master, which I didn't necessarily want to do, but I also didn't want to leave like 80 points on the table.
No, I understand that feeling. I had many lists while I was building Deepkin this time that I was like, And now I have a 70-point gap and nothing to fill it with.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm like, oh, thanks for that one. Appreciate it. And then we
Yep.
got Cunning Maneuver. Pick one friendly Gleason champion on the battlefield that is more than 3 inches from all enemy units. So you're already high.
Right.
You complete this battle tactic if, at the end of that turn, the Gleason champion is more than 3 inches from all enemy units and is contesting an objective you control that is wholly outside your territory.
Right. It's doable.
No, it's not doable.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
not doable.
It's doable. It's the most doable one on that
Are
list.
you kidding me? When out of the 12 battle tone or battle plans that we just looked at, is there going to be an objective
Uh-huh.
wholly outside of your territory
Right.
that doesn't have a model within 3 inches of it?
Let's see here. Let's just go to the mudslide one. There you go. Because you want one of your Galician veterans to go on a flank to score the extra point. So you're going to pick a side, your opponent's going to pick a side. And you're going to bum rush your side. They're going to bum rush theirs.
No, my opponent is always going to choose the fucking side that I chose.
Well, that's where you messed up.
No,
Get a
because I'm going to
better
go first.
opponent.
I'm going to be like, okay, I'll go over here, and then that guy will go over there, and then nope. He's going to dedicate 1,000 points of his army to go after that 50, that 500 point unit of Hearthguard.
Right, with the hero with nearby, yeah.
He's gonna crunch them, and then he's gonna gun and go, hey, look at the rest of your army.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's dumb.
I think it's the most doable one.
No, that I would say that is the least doable one. And I like that you came up with the fact that you thought that was the most doable, because I thought it was.
It shows just how opposite we are at times. I understand. I understand.
All right, so then we're going to touch on them real quick here. I don't know how much you looked them up. I looked them up a little bit, thanks AS Coach. I'm just going to do it. Do it now. Do it live. Open new. Okay, so Gloomspite Gets. Did you look up that book at all?
Can't say I got into them too hard. No. Let me start right now. I'm sure they're going to be great.
So we'll just go high level, because we're already 2 hours into this episode.
Okay.
And neither one of these are passion armies for us.
Understood.
So Gloomspite Gets. I love the moon change.
Okay.
So
Explain
now,
that one to me, because I am excited because the moon felt useless before.
So the moon starts on the table now.
Okay.
Let me go to
Good.
battle plan to help you out here. So
Not in the corner being useless.
So the moon starts. You choose either here. I think it's just
One of the four. Yeah.
No. So I think you
Oh.
either start here or here,
Okay.
and it could be a little off, but this is going to be the same no matter what. So basically,
Right.
you start there, and then in your hero phase,
Mm-hmm.
I think after the first turn, you roll a die, and on a 4+, it moves to the center.
I see. Yeah, I just found the rule itself. Okay.
And
so
then
we
you do
get
it again, and then if you get a 4+, it moves to the other end, and then if you roll 4+ again, it moves off the board.
So it moves slower, and there's no possibility of a double movement. So
Right.
you're not going to skip over the center of the
Right.
battlefield and really screw yourself.
While the moon is here, it
Yep.
affects everything here.
Okay, so that's the same, but that's good.
When it's in the middle, it affects the whole
thing.
board. And here, it affects here.
So you hope you roll that 4 up on turn 2,
And
and then
never
you
again.
have Matt roll your dice for the rest of the battle, and you're good to go.
Yeah, so like I said, I think it's really cool. I think the powers are still very strong for being under the moon.
Yeah. No,
Um,
good. It should be.
I think trolls might be a little strong.
Okay.
They now auto heal D3 in the hero phase.
Okay, that's good.
If you go with the troll subfaction,
Mhm.
they heal a D3 in all hero phases.
Okay. Okay. I'm listening now. I'm definitely listening.
I
Okay. And
honestly
I'm
think,
seeing they're getting +1 to their save because of the moon.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
so you're getting +1 save, healing 2d3 every round.
This is an army that was once, if I saw somebody rock up with just trolls across, I'd be like, all right, man, let's just have some fun. Let's go.
Here, let me see real quick if they updated the app, because they also it's funny, like I really don't like the River Troll models.
Hmm.
They gave them uh let's see, they gave them an interesting ability, Fellwater
Let's
Troll
see.
Goths.
Noxious Vomit.
Yeah, yeah, they're not
-1 to
updated.
save until your next hero phase. It ignores all positive modifiers of save rolls. Whew, that is terrifying.
Yeah, that is.
Kill it on sight. Oh boy.
I said, I think
No.
trolls actually have a lot of gas in the tank. I think they're going to be really scary, especially whenever you get a smart player behind them.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Wow.
I think so. All the random movement has been simplified
Oh,
generously.
has it? Good.
So,
Good.
like the Squig Riders.
Uh-huh.
So remember how before they were, what were they,
2d6.
Was it 2d6?
2 or 3. Yeah,
Either
something
one.
like that. Yeah.
It is now 10 plus d6.
Oh, wow. That is huge for their consistency.
Right. I mean, 11-inch move is nothing to be
good.
upset about.
No, no. And they probably still fly. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's the other thing is there is, I forget if it's an artifact or an ability, but for Mangler Squigs, you can give them like either command trade or something like that, where they have a big bounce.
Yeah.
That if they're within 3 inches, they have a monstrous action that they can take.
Oh.
Where I think you roll like 2d6,
Mm-hmm.
and you can move that distance as long as you end within 3 inches of an enemy unit.
Oh, wow.
So you
That
can
could be really
So if
interesting.
you have some chaff, you can charge into the chaff, roll half decent, and end on the backside of the hero you were trying to kill.
Very nice.
And just,
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's going to catch some folks off guard.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So again, like I said, I saw a lot of good stuff to the trolls, a lot of good stuff to the squigs, a lot of decent stuff to the spider riders, to the spider guys.
Okay.
There's some nerfs people are complaining about, like they took the Loon King and they kind of gave him his own battalion, or not battalion, sub faction.
Okay.
That I could see people being a little upset about, but at the same time, it's still viable. It just kind of like takes away some of your other cheapy tricks.
Right.
So, like I said, overall, I don't know if the book is going to be topping tables, but I certainly think there is. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't be like, I can't believe it.
Right. Right. And I mean, it's an army with a lot of little heroes in it all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So
both of these
you're
books
set up.
are going to be very difficult to beat in the current season.
Good. Good. They need their time.
Yeah. And then to go over to Beasts of Chaos.
Yeah.
So their book, they're a little complicated for me.
Okay.
At least for like, since I'm not familiar with any of the units or anything like that, and everything's this gore, that gore.
Right.
Beast scores look very good now.
I'll have to see what we did to update our Bestigors.
Yeah, Bestigors. So they, I know at least they have 2 wounds now.
Oh, that is huge, actually.
Yeah.
Because, 2 wounds. They're still... Yeah, okay, they're rallying on 5 ups, which I like. I like that. Better to hit, 3 ups to hit. So instead of the 4 ups they always had, so we can actually get to 2 ups to hit.
Yeah, and
I like it.
like I said, they have that prayer that does the exact same thing if you're around a objective. Um, they have a lot of
Nice.
like they have battle tactics and um, grand strategies revolved around protecting the herdstone.
Yeah.
I think is very thematic and cool. Um, like I said, it just looks to be a very strong book. Uh, some
Yeah.
people are a little bit grumble groany about they got rid of summoning.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. I can see that kind of being difficult because that was a big part of their
Right.
identity.
Now, there was something that was very kind of wishy-washy. Like there was another thing that you could do some light summoning at the
Okay.
expense of wounding a hero.
Ah. Okay.
It was like you did like D3 mortal wounds that could not be prevented to a hero, and then if it also killed them, then they couldn't do it. Now they could pass those wounds off to a unit if a unit was within 3 inches.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't remember what it summoned or how much it summoned. But
Understood.
there was something to put shit on the table, and that's
Yeah, I'll have to look into that and see because that's a big change. It I think always helped the army that come around four. You could be like, okay, here's a unit that has +1 to charge already built in, and maybe a +3 to charge set up, and we're now going to charge you here late in the game with this unit that normally wouldn't win, but because you've been whittled down, maybe
yeah.
I'll take an objective off of you. Yeah.
And it seems like they took their foot off the gas a little bit with the additional rend,
Okay.
um, which I think is fine. I think it's now that they're like going back and redoing the battle tome, they can
Right.
fold that in as opposed to slop it on
Let it
top.
rip.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so overall, I think both these books are going to be playable. I think we're
Great.
going to see them. Well, I think we're going to see Beasts come down a little bit because I think they were way too high to be from where they were.
Yeah, just looking here, I think the points increases on the dragon ogres is going to end up hitting this army because they were just such a efficient
Yeah.
unit. And I mean, quite honestly, they needed an increase because they were way too good. But I think the rest of the army is also on the way up. It's looking like here, so it's hard to say this was a bad move to do that.
No, like I said, I definitely think it is the a lot of things were strengthened.
Yeah,
Um,
which
so
is good. The army needed it.
right, like I said, I enjoy, putting 300 goat boys on the table as much as the next guy, but I wouldn't
Right.
mind if some of those guys actually hit.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So, like I said, I think this is going to be a little. I think the Gits book is the winner. I think, but I could be proven wrong. I think this book is going to be incredibly tricksy.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there's multiple builds in this army, and that
This feels to me like a horde wood elf book.
okay, okay, nothing wrong with that, and
Yeah,
I think they're set up great for the coming season. They've got lots of little heroes, the Bray Shaman. You've just got the regular Beast Lord, and I think that the Minotaur heroes will also be underneath that 10 point or 10 wounds. So
well, we'll
there
see.
you go. Got a nice killy hero that you can have in there.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I mean, whenever I was going over it, like I said, everything was really like it was either sounding good or I was getting lost. So
Right.
either way, that means they did something right.
Fair enough.
But like I said, I was kind of reading the comments a little bit to try and get a little bit of a better understanding, and there was some people kind of griping about some changes, but there was probably an equal amount of people uh,
Yeah.
praising the changes that play the book. No, again, like I said, I did look at AOS Coach's video to try and get the foundation for this one, and he does. Uh, he I'd like to think that he brings out the best in people, so his comments are typically more positive.
Good.
Um,
Good.
so, but like I said, I think time will tell. I think we will see these armies on the table.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. No, I agree completely.
I think with the Beasts of Chaos, I think basically what you'll do is I think we're probably going to see. My guess is going to be the the fair weather fans
Hmm.
Half of them are going away.
Yeah, I don't disagree. A few of them will leave with this book.
And the diehards and the new people who really found the army and liked it, I think they're going
Right.
to stick with it. I think they're going to really like the book, and I think the same thing. I think we're going to start seeing troll players on the other side of the table going, "Oh, this could be a long game."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
These things are going to hit me real hard, and they're going to keep coming back.
Right. Meanwhile, that troll player's like, oh my goodness, I get to run these trolls and they're
Oh, I know.
not terrible. Like, heck yeah.
Now I do have to say, like, as the paper and pencil role player in me,
Hmm.
wouldn't mind. Again, I think it would be too imbalanced and it would be too hard to track. But I think it wouldn't. It'd be kind of cool if there was like the if a mortal wound was dealt to the trolls, they don't get the regen the next hero phase.
Ooh, yeah. Somehow finding fire is what you're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Find
Now
their
I get
fire.
what you're saying. Yep. Yep. That'd be fun. Maybe eventually. But
Yeah,
I think with AOS keeping it nice and simple for all of us, I appreciate that there isn't a fire keyword on some weapons right now because of
yes,
that.
yes, definitely. Um, but yeah, so I said. With that being said, I think it was a. I think that was a really fun. Uh,
Yeah.
two fun battle
Definitely.
tomes. I think everything's looking up right now for all that stuff.
Mm.
Um, yeah, we'll see, man. I'm interested to see where we're going. I don't know what to
Yeah.
say, man. Like it's
I'm
we're
happy to see that we are about to finish up a lot of battle tomes coming this spring, be done with the update for everybody come this summer, and then we all will get probably 6 months of Warhammer where we're all on the newest battle tome, and then we'll have fourth edition come and see what happens to all of us then. I think after like whenever Seraphon come out, that's going to be a golden time for this game for quite some time until we get the new edition. And hopefully, the rules writing team is learning because, quite honestly, I know you weren't the biggest fan, but I love the balance of the last season. If that can continue and still have someone like you wanting to come and have fun and
no
play this
balance.
game, we're good.
There's no balance in the second season or the last season.
Okay.
It was like add +1 damage to groin shots. Like no, those already did enough damage. You didn't need to add to that.
Oh, jeez.
um, yeah, I think it was. I think it was. I think the new season is good. I think
Yep.
we got two new battle tomes that are pretty good. What I need to do is I think I need to get I need to update our tier list. I need to find that, get that updated, and then
Oh, there we
we can
go.
add the new ones on there.
Yeah.
Um, so again, like I said, I know you didn't read the battle tome, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give the Gloomspite Gets an A. I'm going to
Okay.
give Beasts a B.
Okay. Just going by how excited you were, that sounds correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Like I
then,
said, it's because again, like that's my thing. Is like I want to see books that fans of the books will be excited for.
I agree. I agree. I want to see a flat representation of armies on the tables.
Right, exactly. I
That's
want to
the
see
perfect
people
thing.
bringing things that they really enjoy as opposed to
Right.
go, hey, I heard Zinch is good, I better bring Zinch.
Right. I want a good reason whenever we eventually get to this corn book, because it's one of the ones left,
Yeah,
that I go, all right, Deepkin, it's been a great 2 years, but you're getting put away for a little while because I have to go back to my old passion army.
right, right. Let me see.
Yeah. What do we have? One order battle tome, two chaos,
That's literally what I was just
two
breaking.
death.
Hold on here.
Yeah.
Let me switch it over here. Okay, yeah, so what we have is in the spring, we have one order battle tome,
Nope.
we have two chaos battle tomes, and two
Nope.
death battle tomes. Was that the way it was before?
I believe so.
I don't
I think
remember there
that's
being
all
two
that's left.
deaths. No, because we still have.
Osiark Bone Reaper, left.
Well, so for
And
third edition, I don't think we have any death for third.
what that's been done?
Yeah.
Night Haunt was done,
Oh, Nighthaunt was done. So that's
and
still
Soulblight.
no. Soulblight is still last edition.
Oh, sorry, Flesh Eater Courts. Then
Flesh Eater Court was
FEC.
not done yet.
One of those two was done this edition.
No, not yet.
Let me pull it up.
I too shall pull it up. And you will be like, no, I am the fool.
There we go.
I remember, like, the last time we looked at it, there's actually a decent amount of...
Of things that weren't touched.
Yeah, surprising. Let's see. What do we got? Why is this
FEC is
thing-
an old one, yeah.
All right, here, hold on. Let me switch this over. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to all this stuff here. Let's see. Yay, I did it right. Okay. So we got Night Haunt, new. Bone Reapers, new or old. Flesh Eaters, old.
Yeah.
Soulblight, old. So we have 3 death armies
Yeah, you're right.
that haven't
And
been
only
touched,
2 coming out.
and we only got 2. So, like, where are you? There we go. So yeah, so we have. So I think the death. I feel like Flesh Eater Courts has to be one of them,
Right.
and then I don't know whether the other is OCR or Soulblight. I feel like Soulblight's going to be the last death because the
Yeah.
most recent one kind of came out with third edition in mind.
You know what? That's what it's going to be. This is what our 4th edition box set is. It is.
A 3-way battle.
Nah, it's going to be Soulblight Gravelords against the humans. That's all it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll tell you, like, I would love for Stormcast to not be the army out the gates of a new edition. Just for
Yeah,
the chance
it
to
would
do
be
it
nice.
later, so it can be a little bit more of a comprehensive book, where they actually know what the edition is going to look like.
I don't disagree at all. I like
'Cause
it.
I'll tell you, the only thing I have a problem with Dawnbringer Crusade being out the gates for 4th edition
Hmm.
is after year 1, it's going to be a bad army.
Yeah.
Because they just don't have it in them to create a fence whenever they're making rules. They just keep making them up as they go along, as opposed to, okay, here's our high, here's our low. We can't go above or below without an exception, without a reason
Right.
for it. Yeah, so we know the two chaos, right?
Yeah, Korn and Slanesh, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah, because I just took a quick look at the Slanesh store and the Korn store in Games Workshop site, and you can't even buy the Battle Tome right now online. So
And then for order, I'm guessing it's going to be KO.
yeah, I also cannot buy their Battle Tome. So that seems like a pretty good indicator to me.
Let's see. Let me see. Who?
Because cities you can't, because we know they're going to be Dawnbringer Crusade. We just got Daughters of Cain. Fireslayers and Idneth came out together. Luminath Realmlords got their 3rd book in as many years. Seraph Honor this summer. Stormcast let us off. And Sylvaneth brought in a whole new host, a new way of playing them. Was a big revive for the army.
Yeah.
So, KO it is. Maybe that book will bring you back.
No, it's not. And again, like I said, the reason why I say that is mainly because they just don't have. They don't have the models. Like, the units just aren't there.
No, they aren't what you want them to be to begin with.
And again,
Okay.
I'm not even saying like what I want. Like,
Right.
So let's split the difference there. What I want versus what I would like to see in a realistic sense is an army that can perform on the table without just being tricksy garbage.
Right.
Like
I
right
know
now,
you've always said you want the foot force to go with the floating boats.
and again, that's over here. That's
Right.
this is the ideal, and this
Right.
is the what we can realistically expect.
Mm,
And again, the realistic expectation is I want to be able to just not drop my entire army within 12, 13 inches of your army, shoot the bejesus out of it, and I either kill you or I lose.
right. Or you get the double and get the float away. Yeah.
Right. And it's like that doesn't feel good for anybody.
Right.
Uh, and so the only way to fix that is with new units. And this
Right.
is not the addition of new units.
It is not. Not unless you're the Seraphon player right now.
Right. Which again, like I said, I still feel like instead of giving us just one hero, I think it should have been some. Should have either got a new hero or a new unit, and others should have gotten a refreshed hero or refreshed unit, as opposed to everyone just getting one hero. Because a lot of armies don't need a hero because you keep putting out heroes for these armies.
Right. The Stormcast don't need new hero.
Right.
Promise you.
Like let's go. Let's look to see who needs. Great Alliance.
Daughters
Okay.
didn't need a new
So let's see.
hero.
Sigmar. City of Sigmar. No. Daughters of Cain. I mean, if they could do something to replace that friggin' Hag Queen.
Yeah.
Fire Slayers. No. Idoneth?
I mean, I don't think so.
So
Personally.
maybe. KO. No. Because you either, like, there's. And the reason no for Karajan is because you're. Like we said before, there's no. Like, the hero that does, like, attacking or shooting or whatever is the worst hero in the game.
Right.
They're not good. And then utility, that requires a good unit.
Right.
So unless you're going to buff the boats, which would then make the boats broken,
Right.
yeah.
We've done this once already, and nobody liked it.
Lumineth, no. Seraphon, no, not really.
I don't think Seraphon needed. I think Lumineth could use the non-unique foot hero, foot combat hero, and that'd be it. That's all they need.
Well, I mean,
They're
they
done
already
then.
have the lore master or whatever they're called.
I guess they are not unique. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, they got rid of
Yeah.
unique now, and so like they're pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Stormcast, absolutely not. Sylvaneth,
I don't know the book well enough. I feel like there might be, just because it's a small range.
yeah, like I said, it's. And again, that's one of the things is like I think now no more. I think this was where they were good at, and like you don't want to keep adding more to it. What we have is good now, and then you need to start adding something to it
Right.
to give them. So Beasts of Chaos, I don't know enough.
There are a lot of heroes in that army. I think they'll be okay.
Blades of Corn, I think their problem is they already have too many heroes.
Yep, they're bloated in heroes.
Same with Tzeentch.
Yep.
I think Slanesh, you could probably come up with something creative.
Yeah, for a smaller hero, I suppose there's something you could do for. They do have a lot of heroes as well right now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Like I said, they do, but I feel like, yeah. For Nurgle, I think you could maybe find a Mortal.
yeah, another mortal in there.
Skaven, absolutely not. Slaves of Darkness, no.
Yep.
Flesh Eater Court, I don't really know them that well.
They've got a decent amount of heroes. It's most of the army, it feels like.
Night Haunt,
Night
no. OCR Bone Reapers, probably. They could
Yeah.
probably use.
It's either that or you got to rebuild a couple of heroes they do have because they just never get seen.
Soul Blight comes into a little bit of an issue because, like,
It's weird because you also have the what was the standalone game?
the Cursed City.
Yeah, Curse City, and so many of those heroes get used in the
Yeah.
Soulblight Grave Lord's army.
I'd say you
that-
could probably find a space, but it's not needed. But I don't think you would kill it if you added another.
Right.
And then for destruction, Gloomspite gets no, dear God, no. Open
Yeah.
Maw tries, you could probably do that. That probably probably be pretty good for him.
Yeah, they're okay.
Orc War Clans, maybe just for Kruleboyz.
That's what I was gonna say. Just for the Kruleboyz, I think they're the only ones that need it. Really,
And then Sons of Bahamut, I don't.
I think we've finished them out honestly with this last release.
No, what we could do is use a generic priest because.
I agree. No, you're right. That's it.
What's his face? King Broad is a fucking garbage piece.
Now, how about the intelligent man crusher that can be your general?
What's funny is I think there is in the Battle Tome they talk about a man crusher who's like a leader.
There we go.
And that would be pretty cool too if they had that. But boy, I cannot express how upset I was with King Broad's performance.
I know you were.
Holy God! Like,
yeah, could have been a lot better.
Like that prayer is like, oh hey, you know how we dialed back the rules? Well, we're just going to get them closer to what they should have been at base, and you could do that once per game.
Yeah, it's a very much we're here to have fun piece. The army's there to have fun. So, I don't know how much it's there to win right now.
And that's the problem is like, again, as I played the new Battle Tome a couple times, and I found them highly lacking.
Right.
And
this season's not going to be the most fun for them. I don't remember what they're in.
This is awful for them.
Yeah,
you literally cannot play these guys in this battle or in this season.
Yeah, unless there's something in the battle tactics in the book that I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, they have just awful ones. So like, there's like one or two you can get if you build your army to get them.
You're going to have to now, I think, if you want to keep competing with this army.
Yeah, so they're going to drop off.
Yep.
Yeah, especially with, again, we have so many high damage armies.
Yep.
Not that necessarily, like, I don't think the new season enhances damage. Like, I don't think it boosts damage that much. But, and I get it. But it's almost like they need, whenever they come out with a new General's Handbook, and they come out with the battle plan, not the battle plan, the battle scroll, they need to come out with an FAQ for Sons.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Because, like I said, it's fine. It's obviously, like, you can't write a battle tome or a General's Handbook around Sons, because they're the outlier army. But you can FAQ Sons to work with the current General's Handbook. Right. Because, like, so, like, my theory for the next one, since we've already got monsters, battle line, standalone heroes, the only thing I can really think of next is wizards or priests.
Wizards and cavalry, because right now
wizards, cavalry, and priests. So those are the three that are left.
Yep. And I think priests you can't do because not every army has priests.
Well, I mean, not every.
Or you do wizards and priests and you squish it together.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, they're probably going to do no mounts or nothing over 10, nothing over 9 wounds, which again is going to exclude them from that entire thing. And so it seems like as long as the General's Handbook stay in this style, this army is going to be
on the uphill for a bit. Yeah.
And again, like that looks like that's going to be the way the game is played from here on out. So they need to do something to include them in. Because like, here's the thing: is like not only is it very difficult to win with these guys in this atmosphere,
right?
It's not even fun to play them.
Okay.
And this army is, I feel like Sons should be an army that you can play, not win, and still have fun.
Right.
And if you bring King Broad, you can't do that. Because King Broad hits lighter than the War Stomper.
But what if you just roll sixes with that big old hammer?
It's not that big a deal. Again, like, even if they would have kept him a priest with the old style, where
Yeah.
they had higher number of attacks, you could have given something curse.
Yeah. And you could have had something there, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, if in for third edition for Sons, they need exploding sixes.
That would be interesting. Very interesting, yeah.
I mean, I think if getting hit with the ruins
With
of
a tree,
building,
yeah.
right? If like this is so, what he's actually holding is he's holding like a holy statue that he's lashed to the top of this tree. That he also, you can't see it, but there's little carvings of like runes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If him rolling a 6 to hit you with that isn't enough to do a mortal wound,
Right, yeah.
I don't know. Like,
No, I hear you. I definitely hear you. That is... yeah, if that doesn't do it, what's gonna?
right? Like, yeah, bring out your Star Soul maces. Yeah, that'll do it. That's
Yep.
all right. Well, I think I was much of a gripe tirade that I can get in here. So, I think the one last note. So my buddy Tyler, you met him at the last event at Fabricator Forge. He's the
Yeah.
one that brought the Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Yeah.
One of the times we were hanging out, I showed him the Apex Predator from Conquest,
Okay.
which is the orc riding a giant Triceratops, or not Triceratops, a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay.
And I showed him that. I was like, hey, what do you think about that? And he's like, what is that? I'm like, don't even worry about it. I literally put it away. Never said another word about it.
Wow.
Conquest just came out with their second edition last week, and he texted me. He's like, "When are we starting Conquest?"
There you go. There you go.
So I think once we get things a little calmed down, I think I'm probably going to take my first step in.
There you go.
I'm
Now,
thinking-
what army are we stepping in with first?
I think I'm going to. So I'm going to. I like the Spire,
Okay.
and Morgan really likes the 100 Kingdoms. I
Okay.
can't imagine actually seeing her play.
Right.
I can't imagine seeing her play. I can't imagine seeing her paint.
Right.
But I actually think what's interesting is the movement trays are going to simplify that step to the point where it removes that trepidation.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, oh, I just have to measure and push them up.
Right.
So I'll probably get, and they have a starter set that goes against the two of them.
Okay. There you go. Perfect.
And it's funny, like, I know I've been talking a lot about Conquest and Stitch, but like,
Right.
I cannot say how impressed I am with them. Whenever, like, you put Parabellum and Games Workshop side by side, and
Yeah.
it's just like, what are you even doing?
No, I hear you.
I found this one thing. I was looking through the Parabellum, because like all of their rules are free,
Okay.
even second edition. They just released it. You can literally get the rule book and every army book 100% free in PDF form from their website.
Very cool.
They also have a section of additional PDFs that has things like how to do a slow grow league.
Okay. Very good.
So they have a slow grow league that's based off of their starter sets
Hmm.
that says, well, if you take these guys from the starter sets from this army, and from this army you do the same thing, you'll have roughly the same even force, and you can actually learn how to play very well.
Oh, good.
And then they're like, once you complete this step, there's another section of the PDF that says, if you played this, we recommend you get these specific things.
Okay, so you should add this type of idea.
And they're like, you can do whatever you want, but if you do
Right.
all this stuff, and then like now you're at half, or I think they even put you at like 3/4 of a game by the time, or three-fourths of an army by the time you're done, and they're like,
Yeah.
from here you should have this many points left.
Okay.
If there was something you liked and didn't see in the army, now's the time to put it in.
Okay.
And it's like, it's just great that they like, it's so if you're willing to like actually read through stuff, like if you go to the Games Workshop website and read through stuff, you're still going to need to find someone to get you into the game.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like if we if we had Jamie go, here's third edition, here's your core rule book, here's your Jonas handbook, pick an army, here's your rule book. We're playing next month.
There we go.
With Conquest, it's like, okay, this is how you do everything.
Right.
I kind of wish the other game I'm playing, the Marvel Crisis Protocol, I wish they would do something similar. Their website has a lot of information.
Yeah.
But it's like, here's a little bit of information, here's a little bit of information, here's a little... It should literally be... There should be a tab that just says current. And you can go there, and it goes, this is the current book, this is the current FAQ, these are the current character cards.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is the current ban list. And then there's an archive section that you have to go to find to get the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, right now, you literally just find all of it at once. And it, like, as I've been there, and I'm like, I think I understand. I just won't play anything that's ever been restricted. That's all.
No, I hear you.
But so it's not going to be next episode, but the episode after. No, probably the episode after that. We'll be able to talk about what happened at Adepta Won't.
Yeah.
Where you will be able to get your first game of Crisis Protocol in.
That'll work. Well, also, next episode, we'll have to talk about Brewhammer.
Yep.
We're going this
weekend.
weekend.
We'll talk about Brewhammer. I'll probably have to be telling you what happened to you there, since it will be taking place in a brewery.
That is why I have you around, buddy. You can point me in the correct direction. I can listen to that at least.
Yeah, I'm like I said, whenever it comes to Brewhammer, like, I'm so excited to go, but there is a part of me that feels bad for taking an alcoholic's place. Like,
no.
Like, there's some guy who's just like, I just want to drink my liver out of my body. Like, and I stole that from him.
He'll be okay. And you'll be okay. It'll be fine. We'll get you to try one or two things. It'll be great.
Yeah, listen, I hope they serve some soda. That'd be nice. A little craft soda.
There we go.
That'd be nice.
Maybe we'll try some cider or something.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll see if I can get kicked out by bringing a cooler of Iron City. What do you think?
Oh boy. Yeah, that would probably be a cardinal sin there. Yeah, yeah.
They won't even
might turn you right around at the door.
They'll just shoot me.
What happened to Matt? Nah, don't ask.
All right, everybody, and here I'll just show you, like, we got a very excited Hi, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
I don't know why she was asleep until just now. I think she could tell that we're wrapping up the episode here. So
she knows.
So I apologize, everybody. I know we wanted to make it to the 3-hour mark. Looks like we're a little short, but I must attend to my beloved dog. So
I think people will understand.
You got any parting words?
No, I hope I see any of you who are listening to this now at Brewhammer. If not, it's okay. See you next year, maybe.
Dumb Buckeye.
Yeah.